Hi, everybody. You're looking at a live picture of Joe Davis Stadium in Huntsville, Alabama. And in just a few minutes, we will have the Southern League game between the Huntsville Stars and the visiting Knoxville Bluejays. These teams are 1-2 in the Western Division of the Southern League. Last night, it went 14 innings to a thrilling conclusion. We can't promise the same tonight, but we're going to try. Anyway, my name is Jack Eaton. This gentleman right here is Steve Johnson, well known to all Channel 19 viewers. Steve, a couple of good ball clubs right here.
Certainly so, and as you say, the top two teams, and we're looking for a whale of a ball game.
Okay, we'll be back. Don't go away with a lot of good baseball. Hang in there.
I will not switch, no.
Then Vicki Oxendine compared their regular diaper to Pampers' new form-fitting super absorbency size diaper.
They're fantastic. They kept him so much drier. His sheets are dry, everything. The blue strips seem to make the difference.
We call it the blue waist shield.
All up the front of his pajamas used to be sopping wet in the morning. Not anymore. The Pampers! Oh my goodness, you're kidding.
Totally new Pampers with the new blue waist shield. Keeps babies drier from top to bottom.
We're gonna switch back to Pampers, huh? Yeah, we are.
Well, there's a tradition as old as baseball itself. The managers and the umpires meeting at home plate. John McLaren, the manager of the Knoxville Bluejays, and of course Brad Fisher, the manager of the home team Stars. And I don't know.
I think they're saying something important. They're saying, yeah, what are we going to do after the game? Let's go get a hamburger or something like that. But it's fun. It's all part of the game. It's all like eating a hot dog in the stands.
What we'd like to do tonight, along with show you a good baseball game, is to encourage those of you in the area who know about the Stars but haven't been out to see them play to come on out and support this baseball team, because believe it or not, in the next year or two, a lot of these guys are going to be in the major leagues, and that, after all, is what my...
The Stars already have sent a couple of guys up to Triple A. Southern League.
Oh, boy.
And fans, they were fortunate to see him play on any level.
Right.
He's been here, so you will see some great ball players.
Okay, Steve, how about the starting lineups?
Okay, let's start off with these visitors, the Knoxville Bluejays.
No, let's start Huntsville first.
Excuse me, okay, had that wrong. Okay. All right. For Huntsville, number 11, Luis Polonia, left fielder, batting .287. Number 20, Stan Javier, the center fielder, batting .286. Number 16, Terry Steinbach, the designated hitter, batting .278. Wilson, the first baseman, hitting .238 at this point in the season. Number 22, Brian Dorsett, the catcher, .286 is his batting average. Number 19, Ray Thoma, the third baseman, batting .265. Number 18, John Marquardt, second baseman, .257 is his batting average. Number 12, Brian Gwynne, shortstop, batting .226. Number 15, Rocky Coyle, right fielder, .283. The starting pitcher for the Stars tonight, number 40, Joe Law. And he is a right-handed pitcher, a 7-7 record to this point in the season. His ERA 6.52.
There he is in slow motion. Look at that long stride right there, and that buggy whip arm. I'll tell you, I don't know what his velocity is, but he's up between 85 and 90. Okay, ought to be a good ball game. Stick around and enjoy it. Tonight's Huntsville Stars game is being brought to you by Bayless TV Warehouse, North Alabama's exclusive warehouse direct TV and appliance store. And by Miller High Life. Miller, made the American way. And by the Kroger Company, where you'll never strike out with Kroger's cost-cutter prices. Feel the difference. Go Krogering.
Over 100 years ago, Frederick Miller started an American tradition. He put his beer in clear bottles to show its purity, its quality.
Miller's made the American way.
Nothing's really changed since Frederick Miller's day. Miller still means purity you can see, quality you can taste. It contains no additives, no preservatives, and still comes in the same clear bottle for the same clear reasons.
Miller's made the American way.
Your chance to save a bundle during Bayless TV Warehouse's floor sample sale going on right now at all 4 great stores. Get this RCA 25-inch color track monitor receiver with remote control, just $649, or this 19-inch color set with channel lock digital keyboard tuning, just $296. This RCA 14-day 4-event front-load VCR, just $396. But you must hurry. At these prices, it can't possibly last long. 90 days, same as cash. Visa and MasterCard are being accepted. Remember, you always pay less with Bayless.
And the three gentlemen tonight who will call the balls and strikes and call the plays on the base paths and I found it expedient over the years never to mention the umpire's name before the game. Don't ask me why. It's just something I never do. I would think they probably prefer anonymity anyway.
Well, let's hope if they do, it's for the Knoxville fans, not for the Huntsville fans.
All right, last night, as we said, these two teams went 14 innings. And, Steve, about as thrilling a finish, I guess, as you could ever ask for. Right now, here is the Star-Spangled Banner. Bugg is in the stands with a wireless microphone, and we will be switching down to Harold from time to time tonight to get his impression from a little closer to the field, perhaps, and talk to some of the fans, which is always a good idea, Steve.
Well, certainly they're what baseball is all about. It'd be great to play the game, but you have to have somebody to cheer for you to make it worthwhile.
That's why they settled the strike. Peter Uberov said, we cannot disappoint the fans, and he got involved in the thing. And one report I heard that after they went on strike Wednesday morning, he got in there, and in 20 minutes they had the thing settled.
With the power of the man on top. I think we were talking about the fact that he's doing a good job because no one likes him, neither the players nor the managers.
That means you're ahead. Okay, here we go. Baseball, my gosh. The guy on the mound, I don't know about you, Steve, but I like to see a big pitcher. This guy is 23 years old, 6'2", stands 215. Or 6'2", weighs 215. His name is Joe Law. Doesn't have the greatest ERA in the world, is 6.52. But I'll tell you, if a guy that big who throws that hard is right, if he's getting his breaking stuff over, ain't nobody going to hit him. That's an old saying in baseball.
Certainly not. And, of course, he was the pitcher who pitched the victory when the Stars clinched the first half division title. So he does have that against the Bluejays, by the way. His ERA in 4 games against them, though, is 9.45. Joe Law would be the first to tell you he would love to improve on that tonight.
And that doesn't mean one thing going into tonight's game, because everybody starts even, and the first hitter for the Knoxville Blue Jays will be Bernie Tatis, T-A-T-I-S, the right fielder, hitting at 273. Out on the mound, getting his last warm-up pitches is Joe Law, and it's very important for Law to get the first out. What he wants to do, he wants to develop a rhythm and get everything working in his favor and keep the fielders off their heels. In other words, he wants to throw strikes, make that guy hit the ball, and keep the fielders alert. And that when everything is working like that, baseball is an easy game. Of course, it doesn't always happen like that.
You know, it's interesting. In the 3 games played so far in this series, they've really been pitchers' duels, almost all of them. Even last night, 7-4. It went 14 innings before we got that 7. So teams have. Let's
see what Bernie Tatis can do. T-A-T-I-S, a 273 hitter. Bats him from the left side. Let's see how the outfield plays him. Pretty much straight away. Young man, I've never seen him play. I would guess he's a contact hitter, can take the outside pitch to left and pull the rest. See what happens. Anyway, so it's going to be Joe Law. He's won 7, he's lost 7, and he wants to get the first pitch over with something on it. So the ball game is underway from Joe Davis Stadium in Huntsville, Alabama, as Law goes into the windup. He kicks and throws, and here's the first pitch of the ball game. And he missed out. I was certain that was going to be a strike.
Well,
looked like a fastball.
I think he's loosening up at this point.
All right, let's see. Okay, Steve. 1 ball, no strike. There he comes in, a shot. Great Caesar's ghost. Second pitch. And it is a single to left for Bernie Tatis. So he marches down to first base, runs down to first base. And Chris Shaddy, and here it is on slow-mo replay. Good stride. Buggy whips the arm. That's exactly what he did. He went with the pitch and just banged it into left field. You got to say right at that particular time, Tatis did his job better than Joe Law did. Okay, so now the infield comes in, looking a couple of steps, looking for the double play, and the hitter is Chris Shatty, the shortstop, averaging .233. And okay, has a little closed stance there. Cocks that bat behind his right ear, and let's see what Joe Law can do with this one. Should be, no chance. And great Caesar's ghost, he threw it away. No chance to get Tatis at first. He comes around third, and he can't score as a catcher for Huntsville goes down, and Brian Dorsett makes a good play. And here we are on replay. I don't think I want to see this again, Steve.
Well, Brian Gwynne, the guy who had the game-winning hit last night, maybe a little anxious at this point. Just over Rob Nelson's head. It was high. Rob Nelson is one tall human being.
So now with runners on second and third and nobody away, Sylvester Campusano stands in. And boy, poor old Joe Law. I don't think they were going to get two that time, but they sure should have had one. So the situation now should be one out, man on second. Instead, no outs and runners on second and third. And boy, oh boy. So the momentum very definitely swinging in Knoxville's favor right now. Knoxville is starting out like their parent team, the Toronto Blue Jays, who are just burning up the American League. So here's Law. Bang. Shot to short. Run's going to score. They go to third. Now they got him in a rundown, and they tag him out. They haven't tagged him out yet. Now they do. But that allows the batter, Sylvester Campusano, to go to second base. So Tatis scores on the play. Nothing you can do about that. Shatty is out, and Sylvester Campusano goes to second base. So score now is 1-0 Knoxville. A man out. We're in the top of the first inning, and not the greatest start I ever saw.
No, I've talked to Joe Law in the past. He always feels that the first inning or so is the toughest time for him. In fact, he has tried to simulate a game situation warming up in the past, trying to get himself ready.
Chris Johnson is the hitter, the first baseman. A .277 hitter pops one down the right field line. Are they going to get it? Nope, just out of everybody's reach. But this I'll say for Mr. Law. He was over there backing up third base. A very, very intelligent play on the part of the pitcher.
I think when you get one run down, you start really hustling. You pay attention.
Right, you do. You're darn right. Number 45. I like the way this kid stands in there. Chris Johnson. There. That shot right there is the first baseman, Rob Nelson, for Huntsville. All right. 1-0. The visitors from Knoxville lead. They have a runner on second base. One man away. No ball, one strike count on the hitter, Chris Johnson. Boy. Fastball a little bit low and inside.
Justin, by the way, is the top hitter in the lineup for the Blue Jays tonight at .279.
Count even at 1-1. Top of the first, and looked like he took a little off of that, but it sails high and outside, and now goes to 2-1. The runner on second base is Sylvester Campusano. 2 balls, 1 strike on the hitter, Chris Johnson. Swing and a miss. Good hit. Now that's hard ball. Now this is what Law likes. I can just tell by looking at him. This is what he wants to do. Okay, Buster, here it is, up in the wheelhouse. If you can hit it, you're a better man than I am. Now, count goes to 2-2. Got to get this guy right here. This is the pitch he wants it to happen on. It does not happen on it. Runner's going to go to third, and he is safe. I would guess that is a pass ball.
And that was definitely down in the dirt.
Or was that a wild? I think he should have had that. See what the special scorer calls it.
Yeah, it'll give us something to argue about one way or the other.
I think that was a pass ball.
Yeah,
many times I'll make my own score out and worry about, that's not true. All right, so now 3 balls, 2 strikes. Wild pitch. Okay, that gives you some idea of my insight. And there is ball 4. Doggone it. So Johnson walks. Sylvester Campusano is at third after the wild pitch. And the hitter standing in is number 24, Cash Beecham. Now his name is spelled B-E-A-U-C-H-A-M-P. His father is Jim Beecham, who has been around baseball, major and minor league baseball, for many years. And Cash Beecham, a .268 hitter, he's the left fielder. So first and third occupied. The score is 1-0 Knoxville. We're in the top of the first inning, only 1 man away. A double play right here would bail Joe Law out of this thing. He's going to try to get the ball down, make him hit it on the ground, and he pitches outside. Looked like a fastball to me. Maybe he cut it a little bit and just sailed outside. So a ball, no strikes. And Come on, get those fielders up on their toes. Okay, everybody is ready. Here's the pitch. Wants him to hit it. Strike. I guess he went around. I don't know. But anyway, it's called a strike. So that evens the count at 1. The Stars do not want to fall any farther behind. They're down 1-0. There's still only 1 out in the top of the first inning. Cash Beecham. Strike, and the throw at third base does not get Sylvester Campusano. And all that the catcher Brian Dorsett was trying to do was let him say, I know you're there.
He certainly has an arm, though.
Boy,
he is one of the arms in the Southern League. They respect him as catcher. He may be Oakland's catcher of the future.
1-2 on a strikeout right here would really be welcome. Didn't get it. Fouls it back.
No wonder I saw Joe pounding his glove a little bit before. He may be a little frustrated because he has had a tough second half of the season. I hope he can settle down and get through this inning and get a little confidence.
Well, he had to pitch around that error, and of course then he threw in the wild pitch himself. So, all right, a ball and 2 strikes, 1 out. First and third occupied. Knoxville to bat. The pitch is outside. Count level at 2-2. And one thing you don't, pitchers would like to strike everybody out on 3 pitches. They know that's impossible. They want the batter to hit their pitch. And this is exactly what Law wants to do right now. He does not want to go to 3-2. But here he comes. He wants him to hit this thing. Wants to get it down. Took a little off of it. And there's a shot to left center field. And there is a heck of a catch. Plenty of time. No way you're going to get Campusano from third base. So he scores, and Cash Beecham gets a sacrifice fly and a run batted in. That makes the score 2-0. And here's the replay. Watch this. Now, I tell you now, from the center field camera, one baseball expert I know would call that wild in the strike zone. Got it right over the heart of the plate, and it could have been a little like a hanging curveball there, too. And those things are going to happen. But now Knoxville leads 2-0, and the batter is number 13, Jeff Herron, 202 average. He is the designated hitter. 2 men away now. 2-0. The visitors from Knoxville lead. Stars have yet to come to bat. They'll be at least 2 runs down as Law fires to first.
One thing you'll notice over the course of the game, the Stars all have very good moves to first base. They've worked on it before the season. They've worked on it continuously during the season.
A little bit inside. You have to get that ball on the inside of those hitters. You cannot keep to stay away and win consistently at any level. Have to come inside. Be very careful about it. See what Aaron does now. Designated hitter. Missed inside again. Ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Oh, wow. He does not want to walk that runner on first into scoring position. So come on, Joe. Strike called. Good pitch. Country hard ball right there, I'll tell you.
Well, let's hope when the pressure's on that Joe Law will respond.
All right. 3 balls, 1 strike. 2 men away. We're in the top of the first. Knoxville leads 2-0, and the pitch of decision is popped up. Right center field. Center fielder is there. He makes the catch. Stan Javier. And the side is retired at the end of a half an inning. It is Knoxville 2. The Stars are coming to bat.
Okay, Kroger, so you say there's a difference? Well, I'm pretty particular. So show me.
Wow. The better choice. The more beef, ground beef. The Kroger Garden. Cost cutter prices. The bakery. Ooh. The floral shop. The Kroger Deli. Wow. And Kroger people.
Feel the difference. Go Krogering.
In 1924, the St. Louis Cardinals and the Detroit Tigers featuring Ty Cobb came to Huntsville to play. This game was sponsored by the Huntsville Daily Times. Now, the Huntsville Times.
Back at Joe Davis Stadium, Huntsville, Alabama. The home team coming to bat for the first time. And Louis Polonia is going to lead it off. Steve, 287 hitting batting average, left fielder. Looks like he knows what to do with the bat. I watched him in batting practice.
Well, his leadoff batters are supposed to get on base. Louis has done quite a good job at that, and he is known for having good speed. In fact, the first two Stars batters, Stan Javier, number 2, both of them are very, very good on the base paths. It's a real boon for the Stars to get those guys on.
Harold Buggs is in the stand with a wireless mic. Harold, who you got?
Well, Jack, I don't know if the Stars can catch the Knoxville KJs in the standings, but there's no doubt who leads the standings this year in the Southern League as far as attendance. Mr. and Mrs. Gene Durham have not missed but one game this year of the Stars game, and understand you got some more good news just a moment ago.
Yeah, I just won another prize.
Let's hope the Stars win the game tonight. Congratulations. Jack, back to you.
There they are. Thank you very much, folks. I'll tell you, minor league baseball, you don't have the big names yet that you see, of course, in the major league stadiums nationally, but the quality of baseball is almost as good. It is frightening how little difference there is, and I want to talk about that later on, but let's see what's going on right now. The first hitter for the Stars is Louis Polonia. 287 is average. The ball, the count is a ball and a strike. Stars are down 2-zip. On the hill is Omar Bencomo, B-E-N-C-O-M-O. Good ERA, 2.02, and boy, he comes inside that time. And now the count is 2 balls and 1 strike, 2-1. Louis Polonia's job to get on base, as you said, Steve.
You know, I don't know if we'll see it tonight, but Louis is only 3 triples away. Well, here's the pitch. Okay, well, he's still 3 triples. But anyway, 3 triples away from the Southern League record of 19 triples on the season. So he's not a big guy. He doesn't hit many home runs, but he has enough power to hit triples.
And he's got a lot of speed, too. He can get around it. A lot of times that speed, that extra step will turn a double into a triple. Uh-oh.
I don't think Louis agreed with that.
I don't think he liked that one a bit. So 3-2 on the first hitter. There's some question as to who has the advantage right here, the pitcher or the batter. And depends on, I guess, where you're standing on the pitching mound of the batter's box. Luis got to guard the plate, and he popped one out to left field. Is this going to drop? It is not. Nice running catch in left field by Beecham. So, whereas in the bottom of the first inning, here's the replay. Let's see what that thing was. Good pitch. Looked like a sinker. Went down and got it, and skied it to left field. And there's the catch right there by Beecham. So 1 man up, 1 man down for the Huntsville Stars. And the batter number 20 is Stan Javier. Everybody knows his father, Julian, what a great second baseman he was for the Cardinals back in the 60s. And Stan Javier doesn't get it.
You know, Stan is a man who makes it on base. Well, 105 walks this season. That's incredible.
That is called knowing the strike zone. Okay, here's Stan Javier. Bang. Good play by the pitcher. Stan Javier is an easy out. So the Stars have not made any noise as yet, but a long way to go. Okay, now here's, watch, now it's just right back at the pitcher. Called fielding the position. Not the greatest play I ever saw, but he did get the job done. So Javier is out 1-3, and the batter is Terry Steinbach, the designated hitter, batting at 278, and the Stars need something going, and swing and a miss. Boy, oh boy, now, you talk about taking something off. That's a wonder that made it to home plate.
You know, Bencomo, this is his first first appearance against the Stars, and they're learning him, whereas Joe Law has seen them they've seen Joe Law 4 games. It makes a difference, I think.
More of a difference, I think, than the average non-player realizes. You see, when late in the season, when they'll bring up a guy from the minor leagues to the majors, they'll have team meetings. Anybody played against this guy? Well, I played against him in college, and they'll anything you can to get an edge. And there's always something going on at a baseball game that is not apparent to the fans. They're trying to steal the signs. They're putting on hit and run, taking it off. Just incredible the amount of things that go on. If you sit here and you try to pay attention to everything, you probably go crazy. But it really is a fascinating game, and that's why I guess it is called the national pastime. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 men away. Swung on and missed by Terry Steinbach. Evens the count at 2-2. And I'll tell you, so far right now, Omar Bencomo has Terry Steinbach's number. But every time Steinbach has missed, his computer-like mind there puts some input in. Let's see what's going to happen now. It is 2-2, 2 outs, nobody on. We're in the bottom of the first. The Stars trail 2-zip, and here comes a big pitch. And see, he waited for it. He got Goodwood on it, drilled it down to third, and that was a heck of a play by the Dread. Safe, pulled him off the bag. So Terry Steinbach, by golly, he waited on that slow curveball. Good play. Now watch this. This is a heck of a play.
Now batting, first baseman, number 41, Rob.
See him? Whang, he pulled it down. Good play. So an error on the third baseman, and there on first base for the Knoxville Stars is Terry Steinbach. The hitter is Rob Nelson. This guy has home run power. He has hit a ton of them out this year with 1 swing of the bat. We could be tied. Steinbach easing off first base. This is a big hitter right now for Bencomo, I'll tell you.
Well, Steinbach known to have power. It strikes out maybe more than, well, certainly more than he would like, but his extra base hits to at-bats is incredible.
Yeah, so let's see now. Here's Rob Nelson. 238, not a great batting average, but a lot of times power hitters do not hit for the big average, and he takes a fastball, a little bit low, a little bit inside, I would guess. And the count is 1-0. We're 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the first inning. The Stars have a runner on first base. They trail 2-zip. Here's Rob Nelson. Not a real big guy to have that power. And looked like a slider.
I think he's not big. He's rangy, as they say.
Count even at 1-1. Nelson backs out. He too is putting things in his get some input now on this pitcher. See what he can do. Runner on first. Got a foul tip.
Yeah, you've got to believe the first couple of innings for the Stars will be learning innings, figuring out this guy. What is he pitching?
And every time a hitter goes back to the bench, they'll say, look, he did this to me. And by the time they get around the third inning, they have a pretty good book on this guy. But I sense, I like this kid Nelson. I sense he's going to do something. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Boy. And to Curry's, of course, he could have been fooled. But he laid off what boy. Anyway, the count goes to 2-2. Good crowd on hand at Joe Davis Stadium tonight. Good crowd.
Still filing in, too.
And you figure the game is free at home and these people come out to see it. That's a great testimony to the love these people have for their ball club. As well, I'm sorry to say, Rob Nelson goes on. Let's take a look at this again. I'm not sure Rob Nelson would want to see it, but let's see what happens. There it is. He went all the way around and then some. So the Stars do not score. They leave a man on. And at the end of 1, the visitors from Knoxville lead Huntsville 2-0.
Now's your chance to save a bundle during Bayless TV Warehouse's floor sample sale going on right now at all 4 great stores. Get this Kelvinator 18 cubic foot frost-free refrigerator freezer. It's got a free ice maker, just $588. Or this Kelvinator heavy-duty washer with permanent press cycle, just $299. Or how about this Roper 30-inch deluxe range, just $279. You must hurry. At these prices, it can't possibly last long. 90 days, same as cash. Visa and MasterCard will be accepted. Remember, you always pay less with Bayless.
Ray Pepper of Morrisville played for the St. Louis Cardinals in 1932 and 1933 and the St. Louis Browns from 1934 through 1936. Mr. Pepper played in the game that marked the appearance of Joe DiMaggio.
Okay, here we are at Joe Davis Stadium, ladies and gentlemen. It is 2-0 the visitors, the Knoxville Bluejays. I want to mention, though, very quickly, Ray Pepper also played on Alabama's 2 Rose Bowl teams in 26 and 1927. Lives near Belle Mina. How about Harold Bugg in the stands now for another fan?
For all you fans sitting at home tonight watching the Stars on TV, we want to remind you Monday night is an exciting night, and this man, Gary Brown, the sports information director at UAH, has got all the details.
I tell you, Harold, we want the baseball fans and the UAH fans of Huntsville to join us Monday night. that evening, the Stars are going to donate 1/2 of the proceeds from the sale of general admission tickets to our athletic scholarship fund. It's going to be exciting. We want the fans to be there with us that evening.
And we hope Monday night our Stars are back in first place in the Southern League West. Jack, back to you.
Okay, but the top of the second inning, John Law facing Jim Bishop of Knoxville, and the first pitch is a strike one. So see what Brother Law can get it underway. Remember now, he's 7-7 with a 6.52 ERA and a fastball sails a little bit outside, and the count even at 1-1. 2-zip, Stars lead. Now, Law's had a chance to settle down, Steve, and he's going to do better this inning, isn't he?
Well, it's certainly warm and humid enough for them to be warmed up. In fact, I wonder about that. He had a lot of pitches in that first inning.
Yeah. But like you say, it is warm and humid, and you probably warm up combing your hair tonight.
Joe looks almost angry on the mound to me at this point. I thought he got that way toward the end of the first. Maybe a little frustration still. I hope he settles
like an
down.
Angry pitcher. I think that's great. See, now let's see, 1-2, ball and 2 strikes. Love to strike this guy out. No. Can't get him, and the count levels off at 2-2. The fielders, I mentioned this earlier, they like the pitcher to get the ball over. Let's see, they're not back on their heel. Of course, only the top of the second. All right, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The hitter is Jim Bishop, and he fouls it back. I wish we had a jugs gun, a radar gun on Joe Law. Looks like he's throwing pretty good.
I don't think he's really known as a power pitcher. He told me he likes to think of himself as a control pitcher.
Bishop's batting average, he wished they'd take it off the scoreboard. It's 191. And
the lowest batting average, by the way, in the game tonight.
And there's good reason why. He looks at a called strike 3. So Jim Bishop gets the backward K, and Matt Stark, the catcher, comes out batting at 250. Just from here, Matt Stark has sort of the look of a catcher.
Stout man.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you have to be willing to accept a lot of shots to be a catcher. But a lot of guys figure this is the quickest way to the major leagues, and I'm not sure it isn't, because if you could hit, what's he batting? If you could hit 250 in the majors and throw some runners out, you could make a living in the major leagues as a catcher. And pops one down the right field line, well out of play. And the count level at 1-1. We're 1 out. We're in the top of the second inning, and the team at bat, the Knoxville Bluejays, leading the Western Division of the Southern Association, or Southern League right now, are leading the ball game 2-zip. And Matt Stark, I know a guy named Mike Stark, who is a professional wrestler. Mike the Mule Stark. His latest. What was he? Wore a mask, and gosh, I've forgotten his name now. Ground ball to short. Big Sunday hop. Long throw. Plenty of time. Right on the money. And Matt Stark is on from 6-3 from short to first. Every position on the diamond is numbered. Pitcher's 1, the catcher's 2, the first baseman's 3, second baseman 4, third baseman is 5, the shortstop is 6. The outfield goes from left to right, 7, 8, and 9. 8 being the center fielder. So 2 up and 2 down. 2 up and 2 down in the top of the second inning, and the batter is Jose Diaz, batting at 209. He's the second baseman. Looks like a second baseman. Looks like a whippet up there. Holds that bat behind his right ear and takes a fastball a little bit low, and the count is a ball and no strikes. You know, Steve, I've seen a lot of minor league baseball parks, but I have never seen one to equal this one. Of course, it's brand new, and that helps, but this is really something that people can be proud of. And there's a shot to left center field. My goodness, is it going to get over the wall? Right at the wall.
Luis Polonia.
Luis Polonia makes the catch. And, you know, I like a guy like that. He's sort of made it look easy with the one-handed catch. Like, don't worry about it, fans. It is not
very nice inning for Joe Law. It was a long hit, but it was still an out.
And it's 3 up and 3 down. And here as we'll go out, we'll take a look at Jose Diaz flying out to number 7 to left field. Okay, 2-zip. Huntsville trails, bottom of the second coming up.
Go Krogering for USDA choice grain-fed beef. Guaranteed fresh, tender, and full of hearty flavor. Or your money back. Even better, boneless. Costs no more per serving than bone-in. Kroger USDA choice grain-fed beef. The better choice.
This week, get USDA Choice Grain-Fed Whole Boneless Sirloin Tip, just 99 cents a pound.
Feel the difference. Go Krogering.
For almost 2 decades, the Leo agents have been Huntsville's home sellers, and they still are. But now, because of their affiliation with Coldwell Banker, the oldest, largest real estate company in the world, they can offer you national capabilities, convenience with personal home loan service. Before you decide to buy or sell a home in the city, state, or nation, talk to the Leo team at Coldwell Banker Leo Agency South Parkway and at the Sears Financial Center in Madison Square Mall. Coldwell Banker Leo Agency, the home sellers. Huntsville Stars outfielder Stan Javier is the son of Julian Javier, who played for the St. Louis Cardinals and the Cincinnati Reds.
All right, back at Joe Davis Stadium, the Stars in the bottom of the second at bats, trailing 2-0, and Jack, still anybody's ball game, certainly.
Oh, yeah. No, they're going to get to this guy. I can tell. I have an insight into baseball that very few guys have, or want, I guess. Okay, well, we got somebody in the stands watching on a portable TV set, and there's a ball low and inside. Harold, who you got down there?
Well, if you want to meet the most interesting trio here tonight, who do we got?
Mr. Carpet.
And?
Mrs. Carpet.
And?
Little Carpet.
And they've got the world right here. They're not going to sit home and watch the game. They're watching it here at Joe Davis Stadium, and that ground out to short right there. It's a good, exciting game, and Jack, back to you.
I love it. Oh, boy, I've done that myself. So Brian Dorsett grounds out from 6-3, short to first. So the Stars have not exactly been lighting up the scoreboard so far. Gotcha. Terry Steinbach on base on an error. That's about it. But Ray Thoma, the third baseman, a 265 hitter, standing in, and he looks like he means business. Now he's going to get deep in the box. Now he is comfortable right there right now. He's got a little open stance, and he is going to take this guy Omar out of this ball. Well, maybe a little wishful thing. Let's see what he does. Good, nice looking kid. I like the way he stands up there. Number 19, a lucky number 2. Always in the second inning, it's lucky to have number 19 come up.
Certainly. By the way, he is the guy, the most Mr. Versatility on this team.
Yeah, you were telling me he's played every position except pitcher and catcher.
And I think they'd let him do that if he said he wanted to.
I'll tell you now, when it comes time for the major leagues to expand to the 40-man roster, late in the season, a guy with his obvious talent might get a shot to go up.
Well, he has moved up to Triple A. He's back down. I think he just wasn't getting enough chance to play.
Okay. Boy, that's so important for a young ball player. Count is a ball and a strike, 1 out, and he went right through, took some off of it. I'll tell you, this guy on the mound for Knoxville, Mr. Bencomo, he's about to make a believer out of me.
Well, we were talking, the Stars are still learning his pattern.
But he does something that pitchers have to do. Sandy Koufax, I heard the other night, he missed on that one, talking about Sandy Koufax in his first couple of years in the big leagues, I think won 4 games. Whereas the Mets fireballer, how many has he won? He's 17 or 18 this year, and
Dwight Gooden.
And he won how many last year? Anyway, they were there's a shot to left field. There is the first hit of the ball game. And Sandy Koufax said he didn't become a pitcher until he learned how to change speeds, keep the hitters off balance, and that's what it is, timing. So Ray Thoma gets the Stars' first hit of the ball game. A shot to left field. He's on first base, and Johnny Marquardt stands at a 250 hitter. The Stars are down 2-0. We're in the bottom of the second inning, and the Knoxville pitcher has just allowed his first hit of the night. Will this have any effect on his psyche? I don't think he probably knows what that is, so I doubt that it does, but he could care less. All he's going to do now is not ignore the guy at first base, but turn his attention to the hitter, Johnny Marquardt. Good pitch.
John, by the way, has been a clutch hitter for the Stars. A couple of game-winning RBIs the last couple of weeks. He's been a good, tough, clutch competitor for this team.
Signs down third base. That's an interesting thing, too. If you understand baseball signs, sometimes you can pick them up. You can get the indicator and this kind of stuff, but it's better just to enjoy the game and forget about the signs. Took something off that, and Marquardt fouled it to the right. And the count now, no balls and 2 strikes. We have 1 man out, and there he is. See, now, some of those mean something. Most of them do not. Great story. Bobby Kilpatrick coaching baseball at Memphis State against Eddie Stanky when he was with South Alabama a few years ago. This pitcher had a no-hitter after 5 innings, had a perfect game after 5 innings, and all of a sudden the kid couldn't get anybody out. He couldn't even get the ball past the hitters. And they figured out that Stanky had stolen the signs. And Kilpatrick was going crazy. He couldn't figure out that nobody was giving him away. Sometimes the shortstop will move on a curveball and this kind of stuff. What they finally figured out was that the catcher on a curveball was leaning just a little more on the foot away from the hitter. And Stanky picked that up, and they murdered Memphis State. So it's always something going on at a baseball game. Always trying to get an edge. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. The hitter, Johnny Marquardt. On first base after a shot to left is Ray Thoma. See what happens right now. Fiddle around with the baseballs. Now in the Southern League, they don't throw baseballs out of play as quickly as they do in the Major League. For the simple reason it is not economical to do so. Anytime that ball hits the dirt in the Major Leagues, they'll throw it out. Those baseballs, I think, cost about $250 apiece.
It's probably thousands of dollars worth of baseballs used in one single season.
That's right. And the mud, there he goes, hit and run. The mud that they use to rub up baseball. In other words, when they come out with 3 dozen baseballs to start the game, they're not glossy. They have been rubbed up by a special mud that I've forgotten the guy's name. Goes to a secret place in New Jersey and fills up coffee cans with this mud, and then we'll mail it out to the teams. And I don't know what it costs, but it's not cheap, and that is the only mud they found that's proper to rub up a baseball. I think the gentleman died here some years ago, and his family is keeping up that tradition. Good play. Short hop, can't hang on to it. Now the Stars got something going. Marquardt on E6. So he goes to first. Thomas down to second base. The tying runs are aboard. 1 man away. We're in the bottom of the second inning, and the hitter standing in is Brian Gwynne. And here's the replay. Tried to short hop it. No, he got sort of an in-between hop. And no way. Okay, now here it is. Here's another angle. And so I'm looking at it again, and now maybe the ball played him rather than vice versa. I don't know. I do know the Stars have runners on first and second. Brian Gwynne, the hitter, and it's.
Keep in mind, Brian Gwynne with a 3-run homer in the 14th inning last night.
That was a good pitch right there. Strike 1. Still only 1 man away in the bottom of the second inning. Here's Gwynne. That bat cocked behind his left ear. Then took it off again. Looked like a change-up curve. But anyway, he missed, and it's a 1-1.
You know, Brian's only been here a week and a half. He told me he still is trying to make the fans like him.
Best way to do that is right here on this pitch. Towards second. They will not get 2. But they will. Foul ball. Runners are being called back.
Was that foul, or did they just change the sign?
Had to be a foul ball, yeah. It hit foul, so the count now, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Still only 1 man away. First and second occupied. On second is Thoma. First is Marquardt. Hitter is Brian Gwynne. Stars are trailing 2-zip. We're in the bottom of the second. Those are the numbers. Here's the pitch, and he swings and misses. Strike 3. Boy, this looks almost like a split-fingered fastball.
Right fielder, number 15.
Oh, wow, watch that in there. And all of a sudden, bang, the bottom just drops out of it. Oh, I mean to tell you, that was some kind of a pitch. Brian Gwynne goes down swinging. There are now 2 men away, and the batter is Rocky Coyle, the right fielder. And I'm impressed when you have a guy batting .283 as the 9th hitter in your lineup.
Rocky, now he is the man who came back to replace Jose Canseco, and he may be the spiritual leader of this team, the guy, feisty little baseball player.
Need a physical leader right now. Need a guy to get wood on the ball. He swings and fouls it back. 1 strike. So I'll tell you, the pitcher out there has done a pretty good job. Allowed a single to Thoma, an error on the shortstop, put Marquardt on base. So the tying runs are on. You got Gwynne on a strikeout, and now here's Rocky Coyle. 1 strike to count. Bencomo ready, kicks, throws. A changeup is picked up. Nice play by the third baseman. Goes to second base and gets him. Good. They go to second to get the force. So there are a couple of runners left on. They got a base hit, but they do not score. And at the end of 2, the visitors from East Tennessee lead the Stars 2-0.
Now's your chance to save a bundle during Bayless TV Warehouse's floor sample sale going on right now at all 4 great stores. Get this RCA 25-inch color track monitor receiver with remote control, just $649, or this 19-inch color set with channel lock digital keyboard tuning, just $296. This RCA 14-day, 4-event front-load VCR, just $396. But you must hurry. At these prices, it can't possibly last long. 90 days, same as cash. Visa and MasterCard are being accepted. Remember, you always pay less with Bayless.
Welcome to Adventure's new double-wide country, Alabama's exclusive double-wide dealer featuring North River Homes. Now you can shop at one location for your double-wide home. Over 15 on display, over 50 different styles and floor plans, and up to 5-bedroom models available, furnished or unfurnished, free delivery. And during our grand opening, free central air with each North River home. Visit us in our new double-wide country, Adventure Homes, South Parkway, across from the new Joe Davis Stadium.
In 1964, Tuscumbia native Henry Heine Manush was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. He played baseball for 17 years, including the 1933 World Series with the Washington Senators. His brother Frank played for the 1908 Philadelphia Athletics.
Top of the 3rd inning, Joe Davis Stadium, the Huntsville Stars trailing the visiting Knoxville Bluejays 2-0. The Stars, of course, trying to win this game in the first ever live broadcast at Joe Davis Stadium. Harold Bugg standing by in the stands with some familiar faces, or at least some people with some familiar son.
A familiar name. If you're wondering who this man's taking a picture of tonight, well, why don't we ask him, sir? Who are you taking a picture of?
Well, I'm taking a picture of that beautiful lady down there who's scanning the audience.
And right behind him is a guy you're too familiar with.
Yeah, we are the parents of Ray Thoma.
Very familiar name around town. Now we know who's rooting to get a home run to get us back into this ball game. Jack, back to you.
Okay, Bernie Tatis at bat for the Knoxville Bluejays. The count is no balls and 2 strikes. And I tell you, so far, Joe Law has had his number, but there's a ground. He popped out at first, and trying to pick it up before he had the ball was Rob Nelson. So it'll be E3, and Bernie Tatis is on first base, and here's the replay, and Rob Nelson doesn't want to see this again, but watch. Okay, the pitcher, as he should, goes over to cover, but can't make the backhand and pickup. Pitcher was there, but the ball was not, and when you're down 2-0 in the 3rd inning, you kind of like to keep those things to a minimum. But okay, here's Chris Shaddy. He was on base on an error on the shortstop in the 1st inning. In the 1st inning, Bernie Tatis singled, so he has now been on base twice, and he is officially 1 out of 2. And for Chris Shaddy, here comes the first pitch from Joe Law. Now there's a throw over to first base, reasonably close, not dramatically so, but good move. And you were right, Steve. These guys do have good moves.
Well, pitching coach Gary Lance in spring practice, they worked on this.
All right. No. Remember the flap a couple of weeks ago? Keith Hernandez was seen by Whitey Herzog to have 1 foot out of in foul territory, and they made him change it. And I see that Nelson has both his feet in foul territory, and there he goes. There's the throw. There's a man alive.
He's out.
You talk about a gun. Boy, oh boy, does Dorsett have a gun. Watch this again. I mean, this, Tatis he can motor, goes in for the head first slide, and they nail it. He was out by 3 feet. He never even came close.
Oakland's director of player development, Carl Keel, says he thinks Dorsett is Oakland's catcher of the future.
Carl Keel is the Oakland development player. I didn't know that. He was the manager in Memphis many years ago when Gary Carter. We were a Montreal farm club at the time. Gary Carter was the catcher. Then Keel went to Montreal and managed for a while. And Lost out, went to Minnesota and managed for a while, and I'm glad to see he's caught on with Oakland. His count is a ball and a strike. There's a man out now, nobody on base. And the batter remains Chris Shaddy, a 233 hitting shortstop. Takes one a little bit low, a little bit inside. I really think that Law now is throwing a little, seems to be, I am not an expert on pitching, but it seems to me he's sort of throwing easier. I could be wrong. He may
Yes,
be.
I agree. He's relaxing.
Shot to center field. That's exactly where he wanted to hit it. Center fielder goes back, and San Javier makes the catch. As long as you can get those guys to hit it at the deepest part of the ballpark, they don't care. Joe Laws, that's he got good run on the ball, but it all goes just a long out. So 2 up and 2 down after an error on the first baseman. Out stealing was Bernie Tatis, and Shaddy is out. And now here is Sylvester Campusano. He is number 1 on his back. Right-handed hitter. Holds that bat out over the plate. Gets a good look at the ball and takes a strike. And it's 1 ball, no strike. 0 and 1. Nothing in 1. A lot of different ways to say it. Here comes Law again. I love that shot from center field. See, watch what that ball does. Well, little sinker right there.
A little movement on that one.
Little breaking pitch. If it has a real hump on it, it's a curve. If it has more of a smaller, more lateral movement, it's a slider. And that one gets away. Now, if there were somebody on base, that would have been a pass ball. But since no, what is it like to say in basketball? No harm, no foul.
That's right.
You know, it's just ball 2. So 2 and 1, 2 men away. We are in the top of the 3rd inning. Campusano at bat with a count of 2 and 1. 2 men away. Nothing shaking for Knoxville right now. Shot to third. Good stop. Fair ball. Throw to first. In time. Good play. Oh, wow. Ray Foma and his parents sitting in the stands watched him make a heck of a backhanded stop and a strike right across the diamond. So for the Knoxville Bluejays in the top of the 3rd, 3 men up and 3 men down. There's the replay. We'll be back with the bottom of the 3rd with Knoxville leading the Stars 2-0.
Around here people seem to say it all without saying a word.
There are still places where you can shake a man's hand, buy him a Miller, and you've got yourself a deal.
Miller's made the American way, born and brewed in the USA, just as proud as the people who are drinking it today.
Miller Beer, purity you can see, quality you can taste.
Miller's made the American way.
Okay, Kroger, you say there's a difference? Then show me.
Yeah.
The Kroger Deli. Wow. The floral shop. Kroger people. Ah, the better choice.
Feel the difference. Go Krogering.
Decatur resident Archie Wilson played baseball for 3 professional teams in the early 1950s, the New York Yankees, Boston Red Sox, and Washington Senators.
Back live. Isn't that a pretty picture?
Certainly. This is
really
a beautiful stadium, and it's amazing. This time last summer, nothing was here.
Wait till this grass gets a couple of years to grow, and this is really going to be something. In Memphis, they put AstroTurf on the infield because this literally wore the grass out. So anyway, we're down the bottom of the 3rd. There's a shot to left center field. It's going to be a twin, and it's going to the wall. Rounding first base is Polonia. Going to second. He's going to go for 3. Here comes the throw. He slides. He is safe. Great Jesus Ghost. A triple to the wall in left center field by Louis Polonia.
That's triple number 17, 2 more, and he has the Southern League record for triples.
Oh, a triple is my 2nd favorite hit in baseball. An inside the park homer, I guess, is it, but you don't see those very often. This is something. Boy, can this guy motor. And they don't waste a lot of time in the outfield. Here he comes. He is safe again. He's got to beat it twice. All right, now. The Stars are down 2-0. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. And the manager going out. I wonder what his beef is.
Do you ever think they just feel like they have to say something, whether it's serious or not?
I mean, his pitcher just got his brains beat out of that play, and there's nothing he can do to change that. I wasn't even watching him. Toronto Blue Jays uniforms. Boy, are they having a year. Everybody thought the Detroit Tigers would breeze home again. They have not. Boy, it's been Toronto. All right, now. The score is still 2-zip. And the hitter is Stan Javier with a runner on third base, and Javier takes a strike. Looked like it might have been a little breaking on that pitch, but Javier backs away. I can't imagine what his gripe is. He's obviously a poor loser. A lot of guys from Knoxville are like that. All right, count is let's see, no balls, 2 strikes. So Javier got to get the ball on the ground. Get that guy in from third. If he hits it to the right side, the runner's going to score. Come on, Javier. Here it comes. Yeah, of course, if he doesn't catch that, the runner on third also scores. That's Polonia. All right, a ball and 2 strikes. 1 and 2, no outs. The bottom of the third.
You get the idea that Knoxville is aware of Polonia's speed. The man bobbled the ball out in the outfield. The catcher was ready on that one.
Here's a big pitch right here. Javier is going to hit this one. Outside. Boy, I'll tell you, Perrin's got a pretty good gun too down there, the Knoxville catcher. Count even at 2-2 on Stan Julian Javier. Two balls, 2 strikes. Omar Bencomo. Bang, shot to the right side into right field.
Polonia score.
Gets the single to right. And Louis Polonia comes in to score. And the Huntsville Stars are on the wall. It is 2-1. Watch this. Boy, waited on it. Cracked those wrists. Got it into right field. Excellent play. And excellent play. Now number 16 is Terry Steinbach. Was on an error on the shortstop in the first inning. Throw to first has Javier diving back. 2-1.
They will be watching Stan Javier at first. 55 steals this season.
There he goes again. Of course, the pitcher, all he wants to do is keep him close to give the catcher an opportunity to throw him out. Steal off the pitcher. If he can't keep him close, wants to catch him leaning is what he wants. The Javier, no, it doesn't go. Popped up. I think it's going to be out of play. I think it's going to be out of play. It is. Hit the top of the screen and bounce back into the seat. And it hit the microphone.
I think it may have done away with the microphone.
I tell you, they make these microphones pretty tough these days. All right, so Javier, he's sort of a little housekeeping down there at first base. Saw an interview with Lou Brock when he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and he said the important thing in stealing a base is bang, that explosive start. You've got to get that. All right. No balls, 1 strike. The hitter is Terry Steinbach. Javier on first. He's going. Pitch out. Throw, and did they get him? They're going to call him out. That may be the worst call I've ever seen. Okay, now we're going to have a replay on this, and the fact that Javier is safe, this is going to see the pitch out. They suspected he was going. Okay, now here's the throw.
Safe.
Safe. Sure, he got
Man
that left hand
safe.
in there. How can they do that? Here they come again. He had his hand may have come out of the bag after, but no, that's terrible. So Javier is out stealing. And Terry Steinbach now with 1 out and nobody on. Swings and misses. Strike 2. A ball and 2 strikes. Joe Davis Stadium, Huntsville, Alabama. The scene of action tonight. First ever telecast of a Southern League game in Huntsville, and we at Channel 19 are delighted to bring it to you. I'll tell you something else about televising a baseball game. It is literally a science. They have written books on televising baseball games. It is by far the most complicated. Foul down the right side is going to be out of play. It is by far the most complicated sport ever devised to televise. And last night this crew came out here and they rehearsed this thing with camera angles and shots. And I'll tell you, tonight the camera work has really been magnificent. And a guy from Nashville is directing this thing, Brian Cottingham Jr., who will always be Junior Cottingham to me, from Winona, Mississippi. But really, just an outstanding job. Ladies and gentlemen, you are to be congratulated. So is Channel 19 for doing all this. And there's a shot to center field. And he used to call that a can of corn back in the old days, and I don't know why it is, but that's 2 outs. And so the Huntsville Stars have a run in. Got a triple from Louis Polonia. Javier knocked him in with a single, but Steinbach flies out to center, and now Rob Nelson, who struck out in the first inning. He's our home run hitter, Steve.
He is the power man on the Stars, batting right around 300 into today's game in the month of August.
And it's going to look like a line drive. Look like a line drive in the box score. Nelson gets a single to right. And he's on first base. A little handle hit, and I tell you, it takes strength. And where he hit that thing to muscle that ball over the infield. So Rob Nelson did not get good wood on the ball, but he got enough to get a single. And now standing in, Brian Dorsett, 286 hitter, was out in the second inning from short to first. The Stars have a run here in the bottom of the third. Good looking right-handed hitter standing in there. Good looking hitter. Should have taken a poke at that one, but a lot of these guys go up there. Well, all of them go up there guessing. They're going to get a curveball, a fastball. Sometimes you guess right, often you guess wrong, and that's what the pitcher's out there to do. Keep the hitter off balance. Don't let him get dug in and get those arms extended. Get a good swing at you.
It's interesting to talk to any of these guys. They say when they're hitting the ball well, it looks like a basketball coming up there.
I've seen that. Oh, boy. Swung right through it.
What was it, Ted Williams that said he could see the laces?
Ted Williams said he could see the rotation on the ball when it left the pitcher's hand. And he could tell if it was spinning sideways, it was going to be a curveball. If it was spinning just end over end, it was going to be a fastball.
Do you believe that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I believe anything. Ted Williams says he talks baseball. I believe anything he says. I interviewed him one time many years ago. Guy batted .344 and hit 521 home runs, and good player right there. Talk more about Ted Williams when we come back. But a productive inning for the Stars. Could have been more, but they get a run, get a couple of hits, and leave a guy on. Anyway, at the end of 3, Knoxville leading 2-1.
Now's your chance to save a bundle during Bayless TV Warehouse's floor sample sale going on right now at all 4 great stores. Get this Kelvinator 18 cubic foot frost-free refrigerator freezer. It's got a free ice maker, just $588. Or this Kelvinator heavy-duty washer with permanent press cycle, just $299. Or how about this Roper 30-inch deluxe range, just $279. You must hurry. At these prices, it can't possibly last long. 90 days, same as cash. Visa and MasterCard will be accepted. Remember, you always pay less with Bayless.
Thursday the 15th, for 10 hours only, save from 15 to 51% at Valley Home Furnishings. Like this stunning contemporary sofa and love seat. Was $11.99, now just $5.87. Or this almond finished bedroom group that was $2,019, Thursday only, $9.89. Or this multi-purpose entertainment center, regularly $9.29, now only $6.99. That's Thursday the 15th from noon to 10 only at Valley Home Furnishings.
It's the feeling of home at Valley Home Furnishings.
Don Mencher, general manager of the Huntsville Stars, played 13 years in the major leagues. He played in 2 World Series, 1965 with the Minnesota Twins, and closing out his major league career in the 1972 World Series with the Oakland A's, parent club of the Huntsville Stars.
Back at Joe Davis Stadium, Stars 1, Knoxville 2. Harold Bugg standing by in the stands.
Question that has kept you up all night. From what distance has the fan traveled the greatest to see a Stars game? Well, Barry Hope from Athens may have that answer to us. Barry?
Tacoma, Japan.
Oh, yes, I'm there every day. What was his name?
Shimizu Murata.
And who did he root for?
Huntsville Stars.
That's who we're rooting for tonight. Barry Hope from Athens. Jack, let's get some runs on the board and try to close them down here, buddy.
You got that right. Okay, 2-1. The visitors from Knoxville have the lead. The great Smoky Mountains over there, home of the University of Tennessee. And all the hoopla that goes with that. The batter for the Knoxville Stars. Number 45 is Chris Johnson. He walked in the first inning, so officially he has not been to the plate, but he has been up there. He has been looking at the stuff thrown by Joe Law, and right now he's looking pretty good ahead on the count. 2 balls and no strikes. And right now, if there is if you could call it an advantage, it has to be with Chris Johnson, because he's going to be looking fastball. Figuring, let's see what he gets. Yeah, looked like had a little hook on it. Grounder short is easily turned into the first out of the inning.
You know, we haven't mentioned this, but Joe Law has only given up 1 hit so far, and the Stars have 4. So Joe Law, he's settled down after that shaky first inning.
A couple of errors in there, didn't do him any good. But you're right, he has. He has settled down and pitched very well. As a matter of fact, in the second inning, 3 up and 3 down. In the third, a man, let's see, Tatus got on base on an error, but he was wiped out on a steal, so he has actually retired 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 men in a row. And the hitter is Cash Beecham. That Beauchamp is, I don't know how they get Beecham out of that. That's the way they want to call it. And oh boy, did he fool him on that one. Cash, whatever he was looking for, he didn't get. As that's keeping him off balance. That's what you have to do.
Cash Beecham with a K. That's an interesting name for an athlete, I think.
Dana Kirk has a daughter named Casha, K-A-S-H-A, or no, C-A-S-H-A, named for Johnny Cash. Uh-oh.
You know, we haven't mentioned, but you are connected with the Memphis State basketball program.
I have been for many, many, many years. I've done their radio play-by-play.
So they might have wondered if those slightly derogatory remarks about Knoxville and the University of Tennessee. You're not a Vols fan, but we won't hold that against you.
I could honestly say I do not bleed orange. No, I will say this. I admire Tennessee for the way they have. Oh, boy, there's one right back of the box. We're going to get him. No. I don't know how they're going to. I don't know if they would have gotten him even had Marquardt picked it up. Going to call it a base hit. Cash Beecham. Why, here it is. That's why it's kind of dangerous. Boy, he gets that glove out there, and not so the ball hit the glove, it looked like. Now rolls towards second base, and Marquardt. No, I don't think he'd have thrown him out.
Dorsett out at the mound talking to Joe Law, I suppose, making sure that nothing was injured on that play. It's dangerous playing pitcher when they're hitting it back at you.
Darn right it is. Get back to Tennessee. Anybody that can put 95,000 people in the stands every time they play on Saturday afternoon, got to be doing something right.
No matter who they play.
That's right, no matter who they play. So the runner on first is Cash Beecham, and the batter is Jeff Herron, who fly to center field to end their first inning. They scored 2 runs in the top of the first. Boy, he has a. I like the way he stands up there. Count is, by the way, a ball and no strikes, 1-0. 1 man away. Runner on first base for Knoxville. And Joe Law, 7-7 on the mound for Huntsville. Little shot into right center field, and that's going to get the runner over to third base. Good play out in right center field. He dropped the ball and out. So the runner goes to third. You can see he had that thing in line all the way. Cash Beecham goes to third on a single to right by Jeff Herron. Here's the replay.
You know, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first play that Rocky Coyle has had a chance to make all night. It's tough to stay awake for, what, 3.5 innings?
You're right. But that's why they pay him all the money. That's why they call them professionals. Can you see a guy going in and saying, Billy Martin, I went to sleep on right field. I was bored. Oh, wow. You were what? All right, now, again, all of a sudden, great Scott, the Huntsville Stars are in trouble. Joe Law is looking at Jim Bishop. Now, Bishop took a called third strike to start the second inning, and boy, would he love to get him again. And now he goes around, strike one swinging.
You get the feeling, though, that Law is a little unlucky this inning.
Well, maybe a little.
Well, if Coyle makes the grab, maybe the man stays at second.
Well, yeah, but I'm not sure. Well, let's see what happens. That's a strike. Yes, sir. Okay, quickly he had no balls and 2 strikes. And now, here's what's going to happen. You watch. Bishop, Law knows he struck this guy out in the second inning. So Bishop is expecting a waste pitch. Watch him come in. This is either going to be a swinging strike or a good play now. Oh, come home, come home, come home. Oh, great stuff. Really bad defense. Oh, gosh, I hate to see that. That never should have happened. Never should have happened. Catcher Brian Dorsett. Oh, wow.
Forgot himself.
Yeah.
He made the move. He was making the move down to first.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that never should have happened. But, you know, these guys are, you know, this is minor league baseball. And these guys are training to become major league. Of course, they do that in the major leagues, too. My gosh, as Leo DeRocher once said, if it weren't for errors, there wouldn't be baseball.
Well, this is a learning situation.
Sure
as Brad Fisher, the manager, says, they're here first to teach these guys to be better baseball players. And no one likes to, but I guess you do learn more from mistakes.
Well, now, there are two theories on that. You talk to a minor league manager, as I have many times, and you ask him, is your job to win games or to develop players? And they all say it's a combination. You want to develop players in a winning situation.
No, certainly, certainly.
And but they said, I said, well, if push comes to shove and you had to do one or the other, he said, well, develop players. But then that's their job. But it's certainly, there's a shot. No way. And the center fielder lets the ball get away, and the runner scores. And oh, wow, that's Jeff Herron came in.
I don't know if
and
Stan Javier may be injured slightly. He's squatting down. He's dropped his glove and his hat. There's
so
the replay.
RBI to Matt Stark. And yeah, Javier is still down on his haunches out there. I frankly didn't see what happened. But right now, young Mr. Law is getting his brains beat out. All right. Okay, let's see it again now. This replay. There's Javier. All right. Right, and gosh, you wouldn't think that a baseball bouncing off the grass would have that severe an impact, but it has. And I'll tell you, Stan Javier is not doing all that great right now.
Well, you know, anything can hurt if it hits you just in the right way.
Yeah, right. You're right. Come right off the sternum or the breastbone there. It's kind of hard to tell.
This is Harold.
All right. Boy, good crowd tonight. Huntsville has done extremely well. Aren't they leading the Southern League?
Oh, yes. I think, 5 of the top 6 crowds and the Stars have either played them here or been involved in them.
And anybody from the surrounding area, you know, you've got a lot of attractive dates coming up. You've still got quite a few games to play and a lot of chance to go out and see these guys play. And Harold's down in the stands. Harold, who you got now?
Earlier, we talked with Stan Javier in the dressing room. He's got a banged-up left knee now. As to whether that is what's wrong with him in this particular case, we're not sure. It's too early to tell, of course. But he has suffered an injured left knee because of getting hit on that left knee earlier on. So, like we say, we're not sure if that's what it is. But as soon as we find out, we'll sure pass it along to you, Jack.
No, I don't think this is knee.
He almost looked like his neck is
Yeah,
sore.
exactly. Like he may have gotten hit in the throat or something. He's going to stay in there, and I'm glad of that. And right now, one thing about a baseball game, there's no clock. You go forever, as they found out last night here, 14 innings. And
about 1 o'clock in the morning.
So it's 4-1 now. The visitors from Knoxville have the lead. And we go back to the top of the batting order. Bernie Tatis, T-A-T-I-S, takes a fastball on the inside, spins him out of there. On first base is Matt. Wait a minute. I beg your pardon. This is Jose Diaz at bat, number 29. Tatis will be is on deck. And I can see how I can mistake the on deck circle for the batter's box. Anyway, there's another one missing the strike zone. 2 balls, no strikes. 4-1. We're in the top of the 4th inning. 2 runs already in for the Knoxville Blue Jays. Man on first base edging away is Matt Stark. The catcher, there's the pitch, and fouled off the runner. Ooh. The guys in the dugouts are going, wow, 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 wow. Now they off the dog. So let's see what happens now. 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. He's not hurt. It digs in with that back foot, the right foot. Closes that stance. That's my favorite stance right there. What that means is I have no idea. I couldn't hit anyway, but
You know, players are such creatures of routine. I bet you he does exactly the same time. Obviously, every time he steps up, they're like shooting foul shots in basketball.
I can do that either. Shot 33% in high school. 50 for 150. Do you believe that? It's true. Bang. Good call. Now, if it's that runs the count to 3-2, and I'll tell you, what he tried to do, Jose Diaz, was intimidate the umpire. Now, the umpire is going to think, now, if this next call is close, they're going to get this guy in a called third strike. You watch. This is my knowledge of psychology. Studied it for many years. You watch. Big pitch right here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Ball. A close call. And I got to hand it to the umpire. He did not let the batter intimidate him on the last pitch. And so now we have Diaz on first, and Matt Stark goes to second base. The score is 4-1. And
I want to mention there is a pitcher warming up in the Stars bullpen now, Larry Smith, left-hander. I don't know if Brad Fisher has lost confidence in Joe Law at this point or not.
I would guess he is rapidly losing confidence if he hasn't. If this guy gets on, that's all for Law. First pitch is out of the strike zone. It is 4-1. We're in the top of the 4th inning, and this is the guy that Law has to get. Foul down the left side. Number 30 warming up for Huntsville.
Larry Smith, 4.25 earned run average.
You get the let's see, 5'10", 195. All right, count even at a ball and a strike. 2 men away. 2 runs are home in the top of the 4th for the Knoxville Blue Jays. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled to the plate. There's a ball and 2 strikes. Now, let's see, the outfield. About straight away.
Get the feeling now that the hitters on Knoxville are almost liking what they're getting at this point. It's like they've got the mental edge, at least at this point in the inning.
Good thought. So here's Bernie Tatis, T-A-T-I-S. Bounces and everybody moves up a base. Now the catcher finally comes over. That has to be a wild pitch. No other explanation for that. So Stark goes to third and Jose Diaz goes to second. Now watch. What that is called is a 55-foot curveball. Maybe by a 59-foot curveball. Yeah, wild pitch. So now the runners are in, as they say, scoring position for Knoxville. I'll tell you, if these guys both would come home and make it a 6-1 ball game, I don't know. Stars just have not had a lot of light. They did get a run at the bottom of the 3rd. So see what happens right now. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 men on, 2 outs, 2 runs in. Here's the pitch, and he called strike 3. Oh, wow. That was a heck of a pitch.
Did Joe Law ever read that?
Let's watch this one more time. How sweet it is. The backward K. Watch this. Okay. Excellent call right there. Okay, that they get a couple of runs and go into the bottom of the 4th. Knoxville leads 4-1.
Three area natives are currently playing professional baseball. Rick Dempsey, Baltimore Orioles catcher, was born in Fayetteville, Tennessee. Toronto Blue Jay pitcher Jimmy Key is from Huntsville. And Gary Rivas, outfielder for the Cincinnati Reds, was born in Limestone County and lives in Cortland.
Bottom of the 4th inning, it's Knoxville 4, Huntsville 1. Harold Bugg standing behind the stands.
I know it's a tough job, as the old proverbial saying, but somebody's got to do it. Standing right in the middle of some beautiful girls here. By the way, girls love baseball. Who are you guys? Tell us who you are.
Johnson Group.
The Johnson. You like baseball too, right? This past year.
21-0.
21-0. Let's get these Stars with 27 wins. Okay, Jack, what have we got?
Okay, we got a 4-1 ball game in Knoxville inning. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning, and the first hitter is Ray Tillman, and he was trying to go downtown, but came up empty. So on the mound and doing a good job. I like this guy, Omar Bencomo, B-E-N-C-O-M-O. Omar Marino, I know him, and Omar the tent maker, and I've run out of Omar Khayyam, and that's about it for Omar's, and he changes up on him. Keep those guys off balance. That missed, and the count goes to a ball and a strike. So the visitors from Knoxville, who lead the Western Division of the Southern League, picked up a couple of runs in the top of the first and a couple more in the top of the fourth. The Huntsville Stars have one in the bottom of the third, and that's the score right now. And here's the pitch, and another. He just takes a little bit off. No, doggone it, no pitch comes in at the same velocity. And I tell you, Omar is doing a heck of a job.
When a pitcher's pitching like that, the hitters get frustrated after a while. They can't get a line on this guy.
So they start guessing, and if you guess right, you're going to kill him. And he guessed right that time, and he's got one in the air to center field, but it's not going to be deep enough. And back to make the catch is Campusano, and Ray Toma is out. Got good one on the ball, guessed right, but hit a straightaway center field, and he had lots of room to go back and get it. And so, one up and one down to the bottom of the fourth, and Johnny Marquardt on an error on the shortstop, and the second inning stands in. Nice looking kid. Will cock that bat behind his right ear, and it looks like the old gunfighter is going to drop the hammer on 44 grains of black powder. That's what it looks like right here. Right down at the end. Now, and if he gets 2 strikes on him, he'll probably choke up a little bit, but looked like there's something there, but it came in a little bit high, so it is 1 ball. 1-0 the count. John Marquardt. Rube Marquardt, great pitcher from the early days of baseball. Again, he changed up on it again. Marquardt timed it beautifully, waited on the changeup, and drills a shot to left. Ow, they got something going. A one-base knock puts the man on first base, and Brian Gwynne, who struck out in the second inning, is standing in. Now, Gwynne knows. This is the battle right here. Gwynne knows what he struck out on, and of course, so does the pitcher. Bencomo know what he got him, so they'll have this battle of wits. Can they do it again? I don't think he can. Let's see what happens. Boy, nice looking guy. Look at him standing there. Takes it. This is the best shot. Love that center field shot. Boy, if I ever saw a strike, that was it. That way you can see what the ball does. And as I said before, and I don't want to sit here and pat Channel 19 on the back all night long, but to televise a baseball game as this is being done tonight with as little practice as they have really is something extra special. And I cannot tell you how proud I am to be associated with it. And that misses low and inside. Left-handed batters have a thing. I hope that Law doesn't get it, I hope he does gets it down and in Bencomo, because that is where all left-handed hitters like a pitch. And they'll nail that thing. So now we're 1-1, 1 out. Man on first base. The Stars are down 4-1. See what he does right here. Big pitch. Oh. Okay, now the count goes to 2-1. Could be the pitcher has lost his cool. I don't know. He's back. He's off the mound now. Going to rub up the ball. That does nothing for the ball, but it just gives him something to do with his hands.
Easy to lose your cool tonight.
Yeah.
It is hot.
It is hot. All right. The hitter is Brian Gwynne. Sort of a lazy throw to first base. All he says is, "I know you're there." Beautiful time. Beautiful ballpark. I can't get over that. All right. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Strike ball. Good pitch. Looked like he had something on that, and it just caught the black on the outside corner.
You know, Gwynne was one of the players. He played for the University of California. He said he played on television in college, so this isn't new to him. He says he's not nervous about it at all.
I'll bet you right now these guys could probably, is the game on television? Well, yeah. Okay, there's one up the middle, and it's going to be the throw to first. No chance for the double play. Slowly hit ground ball. So Gwynne is out from 6-3. But on the play, Marquardt goes to second base. Okay, here's the replay. Now watch. Tops the ball over the pitcher's head. Shortstop has to come in, and the runner, Marquardt, is at second base. No chance. Okay, and number 15 is Rocky Coyle. Stockily built little guy. Boy, he grips that thing down at the end, too. He is ready to go. Here comes a pitch. And he wanted... I like this guy, Bencomo. Keeps him off balance, and he allowed 5 hits, but only 1 run. The Knoxville Bluejays, by the way, have 4 hits and 4 runs. Each team has committed 2 errors, so it has not been a brilliantly played ball game, but it has been interesting and it has been an exciting. And there's a pitch, a fastball, and he slices that down the right field side, and the count goes to a ball and a strike. We are in the bottom of the 4th inning. And boy, look at all the fans over there and everybody.
The kids playing just a lot of attention.
Okay, there's a good shot of the stands. Maybe, well, kind of fast to see your next door neighbor, kind of fast to see your brother in there, but a good crowd on hand tonight. And Huntsville people have certainly come out to support their Stars. They have the first half champions. And a team that's, it's always great to win the first half championship because no matter what, you're going to be in the playoffs.
Well, in fact, they said that they feel real relaxed. They're having fun this half. He said it was tough. They said it was tough the first half.
That doesn't mean they're not playing as hard. It just means that there is pressure to perform because minor league players want statistics to impress the people at the major league level. But still, you can do that and have fun. And that's what these guys are doing, yeah. Although it'd be a lot more fun if they were leading 4-1 right now.
By the way, Rocky Coyle is a big fisherman. I don't know what that has to do with baseball, but maybe he knows patience. He'll wait on a pitch here.
Good friend of mine is a big fisherman, Bill Dance. I have had the good fortune to go fishing with him several times. And my favorite Bill Dance story, and I swear to you this is true. I swear to you this is true. We were, had a little trolling motor on, and we were trolling along, and he said, "Oh, there's a shot to center field. We're going to get a run. No play at the plate. No play at the plate." So Rocky Coyle gets the single to center field, and Johnny Marquardt comes around to score. And Coyle gets the RBI, and the score goes to 4-2. Still only 2 men away. Oh, 2 men away. And here's the replay. We were, I think, at, I don't know, some lake in Mississippi, and tooling along. And there's the throw. No chance to get it. A clutch single by Rocky Coyle. Anyway, Bill Dance said, "Wait a minute, stop the boat right here." We stopped, and he said, "There are 2 fish over by that log." And he took and he threw a thing over there, got one, reeled him in, threw one more cast, reeled in another one, and said, "Okay, let's go." And I saw that with my own eyes, and I didn't believe it. I said, "Bill, how did you know there were 2 fish there?" And he said, "Jack, that is just something you learn over the years." I can't believe it, but the guy can see through water.
Did you ask him when he would find another one for you?
That day, I did not catch a fish. He caught many. But that's the only time I've been shut out going out with him. All right, great stuff. We're talking about fishing. We got a ball game here right now, 4-2. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning, and on first base is Rocky Coyle. The batter is Louis Polonia.
Oh, we may have a problem with Mr. Bencomo.
Yeah. I've been sitting here fishing with Bill Dance, and all of a sudden, everybody, there's the manager out there. That is John McLaren, and there's the catcher, and that's Heron, and everybody is big conference.
You know, as little trouble as he seemingly had, though, it's almost a little quick.
I like the way Coyle got that base hit. He waited, boy, he smacked that thing. So whatever the problem was, it has been discussed. It has been resolved. But I tell you right now, Polonia is going to try to unresolve it. Luis Polonia was in service with a guy named Luis. And there's a shot, and the hit and run was hot. And he's fouled it back. They used to say that when a hitter fouls one straight back, it means that if it's a fastball, it is rising in the strike zone. And one night many years ago, I was watching Tom Seaver when he pitched for the Mets and really had a fastball on. And this thing was up there in the middle of the high 90s. And they called it a riding fastball. And they interviewed Tom after the game, and he said, "Is that a strike when you throw that high riding fastball?" He said, "It's a strike when they swing at it, but when it crosses the plate, it is not." And he said it's the toughest pitch in the world to hit, and I think he's right. Foul back again. So I'll tell you, this is quite a battle now between Luis Polonia and the pitcher Omar Bencomo. This is what baseball fans like to see. This is what you want, one-on-one, man-on-man. That's what you get in baseball. That's why I've loved this game for more years than I can ever begin to count.
Bencomo's got to remember, last time up, Luis got his 17th triple of the season.
Luis Polonia, and he scored the first run of the ball game. Boy, can he run. All right, the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 men away, a man on first base. Big pitch right here. I'd like to see him go to 3-2, but let's see what happens. No, go to first. So obviously, Mr. Bencano not quite ready to pitch, because I'd really doubt that Coyle is that much of a threat to go. My gosh, he is going to go on 2-2, and he fly ball to left field, and this inning is going to be over. And so that's it. They do get a run. Johnny Marquardt scores on a single by Rocky Coyle, and at the end of 4 complete innings of play, the score is Knoxville 4 and Huntsville 2.
Now's your chance to save a bundle during Bayless TV Warehouse's floor sample sale going on right now at all 4 great stores. Get this RCA 25-inch color track monitor receiver with remote control, just $649, or this 19-inch color set with channel lock digital keyboard tuning, just $296. This RCA 14-day 4-event front-load VCR, just $396. But you must hurry. At these prices, it can't possibly last long. 90 days, same as cash. Visa and MasterCard are being accepted. Remember, you always pay less with Bayless.
I never let those years in the spotlight go to my head. There are no stars on Potato Farm. Everybody's the same. I lived a simple life here. A really good life.
There's still a place where people don't forget where they came from. A place where beer is beer, and the brand is Miller.
Miller's made the American way.
Miller Beer. Purity you can see, quality you can taste.
Miller's made the American way.
Marv Breeding, a Decatur businessman and native, played professional baseball for the Baltimore Orioles, Washington Senators, and the Los Angeles Dodgers in the 1960s.
Okay, back down to the stands. Harold, you got it.
Jack, I have got the youngest and the prettiest fans here in the stands tonight. I'll let you do the choosing. Roy Gonzalez, who do you think is the cutest?
Oh, come on.
Roy Gonzalez is the youngest. Grant Wright is the prettiest. Sorry, Jack. I would say that he's going to Memphis State, but I think he's already signed at Alabama this year. Let's talk baseball.
Okay, Harold, and a guy that Huntsville fans have been listening to on the radio voice of the Huntsville Stars, Rick Davis. Rick, we got to nail these guys?
Jack, I hope so, and thank you for having me over, and it's a pleasure to be working with you. I've had the opportunity to listen to you as the voice of the Memphis State Tigers for many, many years, so thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, go ahead, Rick. I know that your fans of the radio are anxious to hear from you.
Chris Shaddy standing in there for the Knoxville Blue Jays as we start the 5th inning, and Joe Law's pitch to him. I think it hit Chris. Are we going to get a replay on that? All right, we're going to get a look-see at how that happened. Chris Shaddy, the shortstop, leading things off, and Joe Law just...
Oh, boy, nailed him right above the left knee.
Buzzed it right in on him. So Shaddy is down at first base. And trainer Mark Anderson out to talk to Chris, the shortstop. Shaddy came into play shortstop for Knoxville when Jose Diaz went into the slumps, and they moved Diaz to a pretty much of a backup position around their infield, and Shaddy has taken over that position. Had some sparse playing time in the first half of the year. He's seen a lot of action here in this series and done well.
Rick, can you avoid becoming emotionally involved with your baseball team?
I don't think so. Jack,
I love it. I
don't know how you do it.
I don't either.
I know the fans at Memphis State know that when they listen to a Tiger game in Memphis, they've got one of theirs doing the game for them.
It's us against them, I tell you.
I have to agree with you. I'm kind of the same way there. So Chris Shaddy's at first. Let's see if he's going to be all right. He runs down the right field line to check out that left knee. Law buzzed a fastball that just got away and got him on the knee, and you never want to hit that leadoff batter, so that's, of course, not intentional. So here's Campusano to stand in there. Dorsett waits, gives the sign to Joe Law, and he's ready to work. Campusano lines the first pitch well, but
got
foul.
in front of it.
Jerked it a little bit foul into the corner, so it's 0-1.
Joe Law has had a couple of good innings, and gosh, he's only given up 4 hits, but a couple of errors have not helped his cause. But 4-2, we're only in the top of the 5th. A lot of time for a lot of things to happen.
A couple of the runs against Joe unearned tonight, so that's hurt him as well. Those first 2 in the first inning were unearned. Campusano waiting. Joe's pitch to him is fouled again down the right field line. And he's ahead in the count 0-2 to Campusano. Knoxville has really gotten some young players come up lately. They brought up several kids from Class A, and they have been doing the job. I talked with their manager, John McLaren, earlier this afternoon, and
Otis Green, their regular right fielder's out with a broken hand, and they've really had to depend on these youngsters, and they've done the job for them.
They're leading the league right now. Okay, here's
the 0-2 is just a little outside.
Boy, wow.
He's around the plate, isn't he?
He sure is.
1-2 count on Campusano. Chris Johnston to follow, and then Cash Beecham as we play in the 5th. Knoxville holding a 2-run lead.
Ball and 2 strikes, nobody out. Double play ball right here would be right in order. Yeah, well,
not that time.
Goes to 3-2.
Law will step off and hit that rosin bag a little bit.
He's going to send the runner, Rick.
This might not be a bad place. You've got a pretty good base runner at first, and that is Shaddy. So they're tough to double anyway, so they figure why not send him, and with nobody out, you've got nothing lost.
No, he does not send him.
And popped it up right side. Nelson may have a play. It is over near their dugout.
Good play.
Nice play, Robbie Nelson. So on the 2-2 pitch, Campusano is out to Nelson in foul territory, and 1 away in the inning.
Okay, here's the first baseman, Rob Nelson. And this is a tough play. He doesn't want to run into the dugout or run into the stand, so he's got to keep his eye on the ball and know where he is. And I'll tell you.
And he's right in that batting circle where the bats are and everything else. That's a good play.
He did a heck of a job.
So here's Johnston, 0 for 1 with a walk. 1 out here in the 5th inning, and Knoxville looking for more.
Okay, there's the first pitch, and he takes it, call strike. Any of you fans out there, this is Rick Davis. He's the young man who broadcasts all these games. And Rick, I envy you. I always wanted to follow a team.
Did you ever do a minor league team?
No.
You never did, huh? Always at college football and basketball.
Always college, but you know, I've been a baseball fan for so many years. I really envy you, and I admire the way you do your work. And I know you're having a lot of fun.
I'll tell you this, from coming from you, that is a sincere compliment, and I do deeply appreciate it.
Okay, 4-2. Doc got to get something shaken here with him. Man on first base and 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. Stretch. Pause. Kicks. Throws. Good pitch.
Swing and a miss.
What was that, Rick?
He's got a good fastball, Jack. He throws it, and it moves up there. It dances a lot at the plate.
Did he might maybe turn that a little bit or cut that a little bit?
He has a cut fastball that he's learned this year, and he has a good slider. And when the slider will break on him, when he throws it hard, then he can be really, really effective. But Joe's biggest problem is keeping his mind in the game, keeping that good concentration. When he does that, he can be effective. The 1-2 on the way.
Oh, nah, this is going to be.
Javier's got a play to make.
Javier, yeah, good play. Good play. Javier goes back and makes the easy one-handed grab. Great stuff at general manager of Channel 19, Ray Gill.
Larry Smith in our bullpen heating. Smith's been up a couple of times in this game.
Number 24 is Cash Beecham, Jim Beecham's kid.
2 out now in the inning as Cash stands in there. Beecham with a hit tonight. He's 1 for 1 with a run scored and the RBI.
First time in the history of television in Huntsville, Alabama, that a professional baseball game has been televised. This is really to put all this together is something on a local level, and I bet you won't find half a dozen local city or local communities that televise baseball games during the course of a year. This
Very
is
true.
Really something to be proud of. And
2-0 now.
2 balls and no strike. We're trying to come on. Got to get a couple of runs. Like to go no, we don't want to go 14 innings tonight, do we? No. Get off by 10 o'clock. Get the news on. With a win. Shot to bad hop. Good play. Is he going to get him? He got him. Oh, wow. I mean, that is that's a major league player right there. As they nail Rick Eaton. Now watch this on the replay. This. The umpire jumps out of the way. Shortstop gets the bad hop. Okay, so we're going to the bottom of the 5th. Stars are down by 2, but coming up.
Go Krogering for USDA choice grain-fed beef. Guaranteed fresh, tender, and full of hearty flavor. Or your money back. Even better, boneless. Costs no more per serving than bone-in. Kroger USDA choice grain-fed beef. The better choice.
This week, get USDA choice grain-fed whole boneless sirloin tip, just 99 cents a pound.
Feel the difference. Go Krogering.
The Pants Barn and the Denim Shop have Levi's jeans for your entire family at a price that fits. Take Levi's Super Slims, only $22.95, and Super Straights are a low $19.95. Levi's 505s and the Slim Fit 502s are both just $22.95. And check out the very popular 501s for both men and women. The Pants Barn and the Denim Shop have Levi's jeans for boys and girls, too, in all styles. And men, there are plenty of Levi's jeans for you, too. For all your Levi's jeans at great prices, come to the Denim Shop in Athens and the Pants Barn in Meridianville and Madison.
Jim Tabor of Owens Crossroads played for the Boston Red Sox from 1938 to 1944. During this period, he hit 6 Grand Slam home runs, 2 of them coming in the same game of a doubleheader. That was July 4th, 1939.
Anybody who puts a sign like that up is going to get on the air, right, Harold?
You think the baseball fans here just love baseball? They can also sing. Sing us a few bars, my friend.
Everybody ready? Take me out to the
ball game. Take me out to the crowd. You know they can do it. 4-2. We're going to get 3 more, Jack, and go home happy tonight. Back to you.
For it's one stretch on at the ball game. I better not do that. San Javier up. We're in the bottom of the 5th, down by a couple. Harry Carey, you get WGN on the cable down here. Harry Carey, I love Harry Carey. But the stretch half of the 7th inning, take me out to the ball game. Come on. Great Scott, Stan. No balls, 2 strikes. The Stars need a base runner. And the best guy to get on there is Javier, who's going to steal second and steal third. Okay. No balls, 2 strikes. We're at the bottom of the 5th, 4-2. Knoxville leads. All right. Javier. Boy, I don't know how he took that. Oh, go ahead.
Good pitch.
Yeah,
Ben Como is something that we were talking about next door earlier in the game, and I'm sure of course, you've got a great, by the way, before we go any further, I want to say a great job. We've got a monitor in there next door, and the camera work tonight has been fabulous. I'm very impressed, very, very impressed. Stan got a piece of that, stays alive at the plate. But Ben Como looks like he's got a good live arm. The fastball seems to move up at the plate, and I think that's the biggest part of this Double-A level is watching these youngsters come through in their biggest stage of development as they really mature into class professional players.
You know, the thing about baseball, as Javier takes another one, is that very rarely does a kid go from college to the major leagues. Now, of course, the NBA and the NFL, the colleges are their farm system, but in baseball, it takes time to develop those skills, and it is very, very rare that Bob Horner did it recently. Of course, some kids go from high school. Bob Feller many years ago, right up there, but it's rare. Most of the times it takes 2 or 3 years of seasoning in the minor leagues.
That's a 2-2 that misses badly, and he's full now to Javier.
That's the worst pitch I ever saw.
Javier, Jack, I don't know if y'all pointed it out already, is only 15 walks away from a new Southern League record. I was talking to him earlier in the year. He said, I have 20/10 vision in one eye and 20/15 vision in the other. And that may be one of the reasons why he gets so many walks. Here's the payoff.
I was talking about Ted Williams earlier. He had 20/10 vision in both eyes.
Wow.
20/10. Wow.
So Steinbach is up.
All right. So Javier draws a walk. And Terry Steinbach. Terry was on base on an error by the third baseman and fly to center field in his 2 previous appearances. He is 0 for 2. Would like to alter that right now. He's batting at .278, or was at the start of the game. Now, with a runner on first and nobody away, the Stars got something shaking, and Steinbach takes what I thought was a pretty good pitch.
That ball missed just a little bit low. This is a guy who really needs to come through for Huntsville if we're going to make a great, here I go again with Weir, if they're going to make a great stretch run in the second half. We have 21 games remaining, including this one tonight, and Steinbach is going to have to carry some of the load. He's been a big plus for this club.
Heard Jack Buck, a big fan of his on the Cardinal games, of course, broadcasting for many years, and one night he was talking, he said, well, we're winning, and then so the game went on and the Cardinals fell behind. He said, well, they're losing, and he said, I think I'm a front runner. We're winning and they're losing. And,
yep. Javier at first, nobody out. Good chance for Huntsville to get something working in the 5th. Ben Como has gone all the way and has been impressive.
Terry Steinbach. I like him. Look at that bat right down at the end.
Tough kid.
There it goes.
There's a drive to the left. Back goes Beecham. It's off the wall.
Off the wall.
Javier's going to score from second easily, and Steinbach has doubled in a run.
I knew he was going to hit it. Steinbach doubles. Javier scores, and now it is 4-3. The run is earned. Sure, you're doggone right, it's earned when you hit one like that.
That's the guy that's got to do it. He's the guy that's got to do it for Huntsville. He hits in the number 3 hole in the order, and that ball misses 2 feet being out of here.
I tell you, that was a heck of a movement out there by Luis Polonia. Now the manager's out there. The manager is John McLaren, and he has just seen his pitcher rock now. He walked Javier, and then Steinbach delivered a shot off the wall and left. Now it is 4-3.
He has nobody loosening in the pen. This is just a little meeting to settle down Bencomo, who is a young kid. And Bencomo's a little dejected. You know that he probably made a mistake on that pitch to Terry.
Wild in the strike zone, they call it.
So Rob Nelson will stand in there now. Rob Nelson with a .238 average coming into this game, but he's got good power.
He has great power, and fastball is a little bit low and inside. And
see that movement on that fastball?
Yes, I did.
He has got a good live arm, no question about it.
And he changes speeds, mixes them up.
Sure does.
He's going to be a good pitcher. He's a good pitcher. See what Nelson can do right now.
Steiny at second, and the pitch, good pitch over the outside corner and low, and it's 1-1.
Boy.
We've out-hit them 7-4, but the KJs still maintain a 1-run lead.
There's Nelson with a big stick, cocked behind his left ear.
Inside.
2 balls, 1 strike.
They will get somebody up. My eyes aren't good enough to see the number. If we could find out who that is in their pen.
I can't see it either.
Both bullpens are busy here in the 5th inning, and now it's a 1-run game.
The Stars have scored a run in the 3rd, a run in the 4th, 1 more here in the 5th. Need another one now to tie the game. It is 4-3, Knoxville. 33 is the pitcher's number. I had a program, but I lost it.
Scott Elam.
Scott Elam.
Nelson sends it deep to left field. Back goes Beecham. Nice catch.
Boy, nice catch is right. And I'll tell you, Polonia is bouncing off the wall out there like he's playing handball. But he robbed Nelson of a double. Boy, that is power to that opposite field.
Something that he's done lately. Ron Plaza, the A's hitting instructor, was in town, and Rob began driving the ball a lot better.
Oh boy, good play.
And that's a good example of the fact that he can go to opposite fields. A lot of times earlier in the year, Jack, teams would not respect his power to the opposite field. They play him strictly as a pull hitter. But lately, Rob has been showing that opposite field power, and I think it's starting to make a difference. So here's Dorsett now with 1 out in the inning, and Steinbach still running at second.
Okay, this is Beecham out there in left field. I was looking at the wrong card. Watch him bounce off the wall. Boy, a lot of guys have hurt Pete Reeser ended his career like that. No, he's all right. Beecham, no problem. Okay, the hitter is Brian Dorsett, and a fastball is looked good to me, just a tad low. So on second base is Terry Steinbach as we get into back to action here. Rob Nelson just flied out to left field, and the hitter is Brian Dorsett. 286. He has grounded out twice, once to short and once to second. Here's the pitch, and he let up on it down the left field line. That's going to go for 2.
Running
close to the wall. Coming into score is Steinbach, and with a stand-up 2-base hit is Brian Dorsett, and that ties the ball game. Oh, watch this again.
He got it up, Jack. That's what Bencomo is having to go through this inning. He's starting to tire just a little bit. It's a very, very hot night. He got it up, and Brian Dorsett right in his wheelhouse, and that's going to roll into the corner. It's a stand-up double, and we got a tie game.
Now, in the 8th or 9th innings, that would have been an out because the third and first basemen guard the line, as they say. Anything that gets between the third baseman and the foul line in fair territory, naturally, is a double, so they'll guard the line late in late innings. Okay, the hitter now, number 19, is Ray Toma. A single and a fly out to center field. Now the score is tied. It is 4-4. On second base is Brian Dorsett. So here is Ray Toma trying to put the Stars in the lead for the first time tonight.
Here's a guy who's Mr. Clutch for this ball club. He delivers in clutch situations almost like clockwork. That's well hit, but that's going to be a fly ball out.
But
Campusano is there.
So well hit.
That's a good bit of base running.
Darn right, that's a good bit of base running. Tacoma flies to center field, but Dorsett goes to third after the catch. Tags up and goes to third. Now here it is.
Ray hit it pretty well to center. Campusano, we have run on him in a couple of occasions earlier in this series. It's into the right center gap, and Dorsett alertly tags. He makes a pretty good throw. The relay from Shaddy, though, is going to be a little bit off the line. And Dorsett, who is not that fleet of foot, but as he showed there, he runs pretty well.
So Johnny Marquardt now comes up. He had a single the last time up in the fourth inning. And on third base is Brian Dorsett. And it has been statistically proven. Well, of course, there are 2 outs, but with less than 2 outs, you have a runner on third base. He was going to score 70% of the time. On second base, he scores 40% of the time. So it's definitely an advantage to get that guy to third base. Of course, there are 2 outs.
So many ways you can score from third.
Yeah.
Pass ball, wild pitch. A lot of things can happen over there. There's
Here it is, the squeeze, though. I'm not sure the squeeze is a good idea with 2 outs, but
Marquardt has enough speed where he could, if he lays Bishop, the third baseman, is back, way back where a third baseman normally plays. If Marquardt gets that bunt down in the grass, he's got enough speed, nobody will throw him out, and you get Dorsett home. So that play might work if you catch him by surprise.
Of course, the idea is on a squeeze play that if they throw the runner out at first, of course, there are less than 2 outs and the run still counts. But I agree with you. That caught me by surprise. I'll guarantee you that. Score is 4-4. We're tied. No balls, 2 strikes. I'll tell you, a bunt would really surprise me right here with 0-2. And he swings, grounds it toward the shortstop. Should be an easy play. Throw to first is in time by a step, and you're right. Wow. Marquardt can get down the line at first. Okay, good, productive inning. A couple of runs scored for Huntsville at the end of 5. We got a brand new ball game. We're tied at 4.
Over 100 years ago, Frederick Miller started an American tradition. He put his beer in clear bottles to show its purity, its quality.
Miller's made the American way.
Nothing's really changed since Frederick Miller's day. Miller still means purity you can see, quality you can taste. It contains no additives, no preservatives, and still comes in the same clear bottle for the same clear reasons.
Miller's made the American way.
Tom Barkley Ford Dodge in Albertville, a customer-oriented dealership. Here's proof. You can actually buy a new car or truck from us without having to go through 6 different salesmen. And since we're customer-oriented, we don't have to sell 300 before tomorrow night. But we must save you money. We won't be advertising prices or payments. Our customers do a real good job telling folks how much they saved. We're just 10 minutes past Gunnersville on Highway 431 South. Tom Barkley Ford Dodge, Highway 431, Albertville.
Welcome back into Davis Stadium, and if you've ever wondered who's going to be making it to the major leagues from this Huntsville Stars team and who won't, well, I'm going to put the man on the spot with me right now, Carl Kiel, who is Director of Player Development for the Oakland A's. Carl, you heard the question. Who's the best prospects right now?
Well, I think the guys that are closest to the major leagues right now are Rob Nelson and Stan Javier, although Polonia is not too far behind him, and I think Brian Dorsett, within a couple of years, has a chance to make his mark in the major leagues. And, of course, pitching-wise, you have Darryl Ackerfeld that, you know, he'll start the season Triple A next year, and you don't know what can happen from there. And, you know, there are a number of real good arms, you know, with Belcher and a boy we just brought in named Todd Burns. So I know the scouts say that we have more prospects in this ball club than any other club in the league, so we're pretty pleased with them.
Carl Kiel, you got to like what Mr. Brian Dorsett did just a moment ago. He's got us a brand new ball game right now, tied at 4. This guy could be in Oakland within a matter of years.
Well, that's right. He's made significant progress this year, and if he keeps coming that way, nothing's going to stop him.
Let's hope he gets one more run tonight. Jack, understand we got us a brand new ball game.
Well, this is Steve Harold sitting in with Rick Davis. Jack standing up, stretching his legs for a moment. We're here in the top of the 6th. Rick, how does it look to you at this point?
I think Harold is right. We do have a brand new ball game. Joe Law to Jeff Herron as we start the 6th inning. And I like Joe Law's progress in this ball game. He was touched for a couple of runs in the 4th, gave up 2 unearned runs in the 1st, but Steve, he settled down like we hoped he would do. And once he got past that rocky start, he's pitched a good ball game. That's popped up. Should be no problem in the infield.
I know I talked to Joe before, and he said he felt that his worst point was the 1st inning or so. If he could get past that, he thought he could pitch with anybody.
You know, something that along those lines, as we wait for Jim Bishop to come up, Gary Lance sometimes will take Joe into the bullpen, and they will pitch a simulated first inning before the game begins, and that's an effort to help reduce some of the pregame jitters, some of the nervousness that Joe faces. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but if he gets by that first inning, he's got a great chance to pitch a good ball game for you.
He has. That last one fouled off. He has pitched a lot of, or thrown a lot of pitches tonight. How is his endurance as someone who has seen every single inning of every Stars game?
Well, Joe is a pretty strong kid, but you'll tell in a hurry. You'll be able to tell when he's tiring. When he starts to lose it, it goes quickly. He's not one of these guys who can stay in there and battle, but he's got his good stuff still with him. He's only thrown 85 pitches, now 86, and we're into the 6th inning. That's a little bit high, but not quite that bad. It's a 1-1 count on the batter, and as long as he continues to stay even or ahead of the hitters, Joe's got a chance on going 6, 7, 8 innings in this game.
But he's facing Jim Bishop at this point, the worst hitter, I guess you could say, on the Knoxville Blue Jays lineup. 191 coming into the game. He hasn't really done anything tonight, so.
See a shot of Ray Gill, the general manager at Channel 19 down there with Carl Keel.
And of course, Channel 19 bringing you this game.
Uh-oh, he did it again.
That's
out of here. He tanked that one.
Jim Bishop. I talk about how poor hitter he is.
You know, you talked about what a poor hitter he is, but he's a great hitter against our pitching. I don't know why it is, but he's hitting .297 coming into this game against our staff, and there's another reason why. He just hit one out to left field. That's the same spot he hit it the opening night of this series on Saturday.
Here's the replay. This is one of those rockets almost immediately.
Yeah, Joe got it up, and when he do that against a guy, Bishop is no shrinking violet. He's 6'2", 190, and he has good power. And you hang a pitch to a hitter like that, and when you get to this league, this is a hitter's league, the Southern League. You get to this league, you do that, and any hitter's going to hit it out of here. There's another base hit. That's Matt Stark, the catcher, who's just singled through the left side. So Joe may be beginning to tire a little bit. We've got Mark Bauer, who is throwing, but he's a starter, so we don't look for him in the game.
Larry Smith.
And Smith is down there as well.
Of course, Larry was up earlier and throwing, so back when Joe had another shaky period. And here's
that's Bauer, the right-hander, on the left of your screen, and Larry Smith, the left-hander, who is now throwing toward the right of the screen, and Gary Lance, the pitching coach, down there observing.
What I've seen, though, Brad, he doesn't just jerk a pitcher because he has a bad spell.
He'll stay with the pitcher as long as he's got good stuff, and that's high and tight to Diaz. What Brad Fisher wants when he comes to the mound, he'll ask the pitcher, whoever it may be, he'll say, how do you feel? And he wants an honest answer. He wants to know if the guy still has his stuff. Joe's starting to struggle a little bit. He's gone 2-0 now to Jose Diaz. Diaz at 207, but here's another guy who hits our pitching relatively well. Had a grand slam homer against us in Knoxville back in the first half of the year. Now they lead 5-4, and with one out in the 6th, this could be a big inning. Got the strike over. I don't think Diaz thought it was a strike.
I'm not sure that Knoxville has been happy with a lot of strike calls tonight.
Well, the best thing you can hope for from an umpire is to make that strike zone consistent. That's a bad hop. Off Thoma, it'll go out into left field, and 2 aboard now with still only 1 out and back to the top of the order.
And of course, that's something the pitcher, well, he doesn't want him to get good hits, but he can't help that. That's something the pitcher has no control over.
But again, that ball was hit hard. Here comes Brad, and this might do it for Joe. He's kind of done his job in one sense. He's gotten you into the 6th inning, where you can go to Smith and then come back in with your short relievers a little bit later. And that's going to do it for Joe Law. So he gives up a homer and back-to-back singles to the bottom third of their order here in the 6th inning. Knoxville goes back up on top 5-4, and Brad Fisher's called for the left-hander Larry Smith, and that's who'll be coming aboard.
He's still in the pen throwing hard as Brad takes some time out. Joe, really, I think not necessarily satisfied, but he's had a few rocky starts lately. He probably feels fairly good about his effort tonight.
Steve, he was 7-2 on the night we clinched the first half of the championship. He was the pitcher of record the night we won that game. Now he's 7-7, so he hasn't won a game since June the 20th. So for him to come in and throw 5 1/3 pretty good innings, he scattered 6 hits. They made him count for 5 runs. 2 of them are unearned. You got to feel like Joe's pretty happy with the outing. Of course, he'd like to have done a little bit better. Any pitcher would, but That's his job, is to get us to this point. Now, Fisher's got a bullpen that, although they had a little bit of work thrown at him last night in the long game, the bullpen is pretty well rested. You got to remember that these guys had 3 straight nights where they didn't work an inning after the complete games that we had back last week. So this is not a bad outing at all for Joe Law, and I think it's a bright spot, especially alluding to the fact that Carl Keel, the A's Director of Player Development, is here. And Carl has seen what he's done, and a lot of times you get a guy who comes out and he gives up 5 runs on 7 hits. That doesn't look good on the stat sheet, but when a guy sees how they've been given up, it makes a big difference.
Oh, yeah. You know, this okay, here's Larry Smith. Doesn't appear to be a tall guy, but muscled.
Smitty is not at all overpowering, but what he's got, and this is his out pitch, is a very wicked slider. It's a pitch, and there he just threw it right there. When that ball comes up there, and he doesn't throw it hard, again, it's going to run up there at 82, 83 miles an hour, which isn't terrifically fast, but it's got a good break on it. As a left-hander, the slider not only breaks to the right side on the right-handed hitters, but it breaks down and in on them. So here we go into the 6th inning. We've got an out, and Knoxville with a couple aboard. And the top of the order for the KJs, Bernie Tatis. Talk about hitters against our ball club. Tatis is hitting .357 against Stars pitching. He'll go around and bat from the right side against the left-hander Larry Smith.
It doesn't matter what you hit, except what you hit against this thing.
Exactly. So Knoxville with a rally here in the 6th inning, and the Stars trying to put the fire out. Smith checks his runners.
Of course, his job is to come in and put out any fire they have started.
What he wants to do here, he's looking for a ground ball somewhere to get a double play and get out of the inning. And it's particularly important that you get it in this situation, because Tatis, with his speed, is running from the left side or the right-handed batter's box. So you have a chance to double him from this side of the plate. Also, the runners on the bases are not that quick. Diaz, fair speed, not great speed. 1-0 the count. We play in the 6th, and Knoxville now on top by a run. That's high.
Tough to come in. I don't care. If you've been warming up, it's not a game situation. It's tough.
But that's the job of a reliever. He's got situations like this galore that he faces every time in. There's your double play ball. Gwynne, and 2.
Got in. He's out. And at the end of 5.5, the Stars trailing 5-4. Let's look at the replay on that one. Nicely turned double play.
Yeah, as we go out, you'll see Brian Gwynne do a great job. And
here's the replay.
It's just a couple of 3 hoppers, and Gwynne makes the good catch and flip, and that'll do it for the Knoxville in the 6th, and we'll be back.
Now's your chance to save a bundle during Bayless TV Warehouse's floor sample sale going on right now at all 4 great stores. Get this Kelvinator 18 cubic foot frost-free refrigerator freezer. It's got a frame, just $279. You must hurry. At these prices, it can't possibly last long. 90 days, same as cash. Visa and MasterCard will be accepted. Remember, you always pay less with Bayless.
Sleek lines, high energy, the mark of supreme quality.
Heritage Motor Company, Drake at the Parkway in Huntsville, is your complete Cadillac, Porsche, Audi dealer. And we've got the largest inventory of luxury cars in North Alabama, now specially priced. Check your newspaper for details and come join the luxury car celebration.
Feel the power, the style of a new Cadillac, Porsche, or Audi from Heritage Motor Company, Huntsville.
Bob Watson, Oakland A's minor league roving hitting instructor, scored baseball's 1 millionth run in 1975 while playing for Houston.
Welcome back into Joe Davis Stadium, where if you've ever wondered how the Stars spell relief, Larry the Mystery Man has the way. Larry, how do you spell it?
Hey, let's go now!
Larry the Mystery Man is hot tonight. Rick, let's get some runs.
Hey, I'll go along with that, Harold.
Stars in Channel 19 are #1. We hope so. First live broadcast. Here's the first pitch to Brian Gwynne from Mr. Bencomo. Strike 1. Brian Gwynne, of course, the hero of last night's game, 14th inning, 3-run homer.
Yeah, we were looking for anybody to go deep that inning. It happened that it was our guy, Brian Gwynne.
1 o'clock in the morning. I understand Brian felt like nobody watched it because they were so busy having fun after staying here that long.
0-2. He's behind in the count to Bencomo, so he comes back after a rocky fifth with a good start. It's fouled up out of play. I said this earlier, and I think it bears repeating. I think the guys at Channel 19 have done a fabulous job. Steve, I know you're proud of everybody who's helped with the broadcast, and of course Jack Eaton being here has made it that much more impressive. But you've got great camera work, and this is a first-class production. It's as fine as I've seen in a lot of years in this business.
Well, as I think Jack would say, great Scott. It's been a great broadcast.
1-2 now to Gwynne. Bencomo checked his swing and fouled it. 5-4, Knoxville on top as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Crowd of, I'm going to guess, anywhere from 7,000 to 8,000 out tonight.
And hopefully many more people.
Probably a few thousand more at home. First baseman, no problem. Chris Johnston steps on the bag, and there's an out to start the 6th. Coyle will be the batter. He has an RBI single to his credit back in the 4th.
And at a very opportune time. The Stars needed something when Coyle got his hit.
Something that we pointed out next door on radio earlier, Randy. See, I'm in a habit of doing that too, Steve. Steve, is that Rocky had fallen off a bit. His average was down. He was up into the 290s and came into the game at 283, and that was a big spot for him to deliver because it'll help his confidence too. He went 0 for 6 in that long one last night.
Well, all along, everyone has felt he's the spiritual leader of this team, and you could see it then. He was ready to take charge.
And I think that's a fair assumption that you just pointed out. Somewhat of the spiritual leader. He's the kind of guy who's a gung-ho guy and keeps us going. Bencomo low in the zone. That's something that, talking with Brad Fisher, our manager, and Gary Lance, the pitching coach, is that during the course of a game, if you want your pitcher to be out of the strike zone, you'd rather have him missing low as opposed to up, because he gets it up and he gets hurt.
Well, bottom of the 6th, Stars down 5-4. The count is 2-1 on Rocky Coyle.
We've still out hit them 8-7, but now they've closed the gap and taken the lead. It's 5-4. Rocky waiting, and Bencomo delivers the 2-1. Low.
The director just mentioned that Rocky Coyle is built like Joe Bellino. Probably a lot of folks don't remember Joe Bellino.
Heisman Trophy winner at Navy in 1960.
I'll tell you, Rocky. He is one of those guys who is small but stout in stature.
The Rock is, surprisingly, a lot of people don't know this, and this is coming straight from Rocky's mouth, too. He tells me he's faster than either Polonia or Javier. He says he beat them both in a race one day. I didn't see the race, so I don't know. But he told me that he's faster than both of them, and watching him out there in right field and watching him down the base paths, he shows some good quick feet.
You know, it's interesting. He hasn't had many opportunities playing the field tonight. They just haven't hit it his way.
3-2, a payoff pitch due Rocky Coyle from Omar Bencomo as we work in the 6th. And Knoxville holding a 1-run lead. And the pitch. Well hit, but not going to hurt anybody. Popped it up, in fact. Not as well hit as I thought.
It looked like it might drop in there, but you're right. It wasn't hit as well as it looked.
So 2 out now for the top of the order. Here's Polonia. Louis with 17 triples, including the one tonight in the 3rd inning, and he's 2 away from Alan Trammell's Southern League record. Trammell, of course, now with Detroit, set that record with the Montgomery Rebels back in '77.
You know, Lewis is one of those ball players. I think you would call him a productive ball player. He makes things happen.
He's a typical, better than average leadoff man. Bencomo winds. That's high. Louis' job, of course, is to get on base, and from the left side of the plate, or the left-handed batter's box, he's got the speed where he pushes that bunt by the pitcher. He's on base, and there's nobody going to throw him out.
The count goes to 2-1.
Bencomo coming right back with a good fastball, knee high, and you keep it low around in there, you're going to be tough.
Not seeing Bencomo this season. You think the Stars have had trouble getting a line on what he's doing?
That sometimes happens. That's a very good point. Here's the 2-1. But when you get behind the hitters, especially in the Southern League, which our guys will tell you this has become more of an offensive league as the years have gone by. You get behind the hitters in this league, you can't really expect to stay in the ball game for too long. So Louis at first, and there's a 2-out base runner here in the 6th.
It could be that the heat and humidity is getting to Mr. Bencomo a little bit at this point.
Well, he had the trouble in the 5th. John McLaren came out to settle him down. They got the reliever Scott Elam up and throwing, but now their bullpen is quiet, and I guess they're going to let Bencomo take the reins for a little bit further. Javier 1 for 2, a run scored and a walk on the evening. Louis is back. That's a close play at first.
Yeah, Bencomo really hasn't made a strong move to first tonight. Louis may be a little casual over there.
Louis bluffs the jump, and Javier takes it for a strike. Now this is a good pitch for him to be running on. It's an 0-1. So even if Javier swings through and misses, you've still got a chance to get the base. Plus the right side of the infield opened up with the first baseman holding the runner. Louis got a good lead. And the 0-1, and there he goes. And there's the throw. And he got him. Nice shot. 2-6 caught stealing on Polonia. That'll wrap up the 6th inning. The Stars.
Okay, let's look at the replay. That wasn't even really close. I mean,
I don't think he got the jump, Steve. I don't think he got the good jump that he normally gets. And Shaddy is there with the throw. He did make it close with his speed, but that'll do it for the 6th.
Here's your chance to save a bundle during Bayless TV Warehouse's floor sample sale going on right now at all 4 great stores. Get this RCA 25-inch color track monitor receiver with remote control, just $649, or this 19-inch color set with channel lock digital keyboard tuning, just $296. This RCA 14-day, 4-event front-load VCR, just $396. But you must hurry at these prices. It can't possibly last long. 90 days, same as cash. Visa and MasterCard are being accepted. Remember, you always pay less with Bayless.
In March 1928, Charles Gabby Street brought his Knoxville Smokies to Huntsville to play the Albany Senators. Albany had chosen Huntsville as their spring training site.
Okay, high above the stadium. Good ball game so far. We're now at the end of 6 innings of play, 5-4. My name's Jack Eaton. This is Steve Johnson. Steve, good ball game.
Certainly is. I was kind of worried a little bit there early on, but the Stars have come back. They are behind 5-4, but at this point, you get the feeling they are in this game to stay.
And a lot of time to go, as they always say around the baseball diamond. And any of you people out there who maybe haven't been over here and watched the game live this year, well, you still got a lot of chances left. And you're going to see some great baseball because these guys, they play it. They won the first half and just a couple of games out for the second half. And okay. It is going to be for the Knoxville Bluejays at bat number 4. His name is Chris Shaddy, and he's been hit by the pitcher. He's on an error, fly to center field. So he's had a painful night, if nothing else. And the first pitch is out of the strike zone. Left-hander now working for the Stars. Shaddy fouls it out, and the young man who's pitching there, Rick Davis, the radio play-by-play voice. We appreciate him coming in. Larry Smith, 5'10", 195, Moreno Valley, California. I have no idea where Moreno Valley is. I do know the count is 1-1. Change up, gets him out, pops it up into short center field, and there is one of the easiest outs you're going to have. And that's another example. You get them off that timing a little bit. That's exactly what happens.
Stan Javier, apparently whatever that injury he had a couple of innings ago is not bothering him now, which is nice to see. I mean, he is an integral part of this ball club.
Sylvester Campusano, S-I-L-V-E-S-T-R-E. Sylvester, that's not the way I spell Sylvester, but I'm not going to argue with him. An authoritarian type of hitter, and boy, there's a shot. If they get him up, no way. Now is that? Oh, he's going to go for 2, and he's got. No, he's not.
I mean to tell you, Jack, he got around.
Boy, did he ever! Now I would give him a hit on that. Yeah, they're going to give him a hit. That's a good call.
Sometimes there's just too much momentum.
Yeah, there's just too. That's why they call it the hot corner down there. Now watch that thing.
Oh boy. I mean, the third baseman, we're talking quick reactions just to make a lunge at that one.
All right, so the enemy from Knoxville has a man on first base with one out. We're in the top of the seventh. Knoxville leading 5-4, and the hitter is Chris Johnson, 279. Quick first baseman, number 45. Good-looking kid, and of course the idea is for Knoxville to advance him to second base. With only one out, slow curve comes in. Twisting foul down the first base line, and there is a good play by Rob Nelson. So Chris Johnson, the first baseman for Knoxville, fouls out to the Huntsville first baseman, and that is 2 men away. First man Shaddy fly to center, single by Capusano, foul out by Johnson, and now Cash Beecham, who has scored a run. He singled, and a sacrifice fly got a run home. And he grounded out short to first. Fastball is, I'll take it. Larry Smith.
As Rick says, not a power pitcher, but he came with it that time.
He came with it that time, and I thought that was a little high and outside, but they called it a strike, and here he is again, and breaking stuff that time, gets away, and that's. Now, either one of two things happened. Either the catcher was crossed up, or he just missed it. He might have been crossed up on that. That's obviously going to be a pass ball. I don't know. Well, all right.
The official designation hasn't been made yet, but
so the runner hops down to second base. That'll be Campusano. He is in scoring position. Count is a ball and a strike on the hitter, and he fouls one to the right side. Cash Beecham. Nelson gives it a good chase over there. But
not to mention a one-handed grab in the stands on that one. Sign that boy up. Man in scoring position, but luckily there are 2 out, which.
Cash Beecham, he stands in there, he waves that bat. He's with 1 ball and 2 strike. He is very definitely a defensive hitter, but he has not. He is not choked up on that bat. He's still swinging for the end, and there he lines one, and it's going to be into right center field. That is going to get the run home. And how that pass ball. Oh, wow, how that hurts. So, Beecham gets a single to right. Campusano comes in to score. Here's the replay.
John Marquardt thought for a second he had a chance, but obviously no chance at all on that one.
Just a little, what they call those, dying quail, I guess, or dying swan, or anyway. They got the run home, and now it is 6-4, and the Huntsville Stars fall behind by 2. And the batter is Jeff Herron. Fastball, yeah, good pitch, good pitch. On first base is Beecham. The Huntsville Stars have 9 outs remaining. And there's a let-up curveball. Got out in front of it and pulled it foul down the third base line, and the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes. So now they can see what Larry Nelson can do, or Larry Smith can do. He can toy with him. He's going to waste one. Going to come in, try to jam him. Let's see what happens. Let up on it, got it low and inside. Good try. Good try. Standing right in there, waving that shillelagh back and forth is Herron, and he fouls it back. That's a good pitch. Got a good cut. So the count remains a ball and 2 strikes. 2 men away. We are in the top of the 7th inning. A 6-4 ball game, and the team at bat, the Knoxville Bluejays, would dearly love to win the second half in the Western Division. They are leading by a couple of games right now. Yeah, they got him nailed, and Cash Beecham has caught him leaning. And he is nailed. He was a dead duck all the way.
As the way he tossed his helmet back to the dugout.
Watch this. Yeah, oh boy, they had him suckered all the way. So all he can do now is hope they make a bad throw, and they did not. And Beecham is out, and the Stars are now going to come up at the bottom of the 7th inning, down by 2. Don't go away. Game's getting good right now.
Okay, Kroger, so you say there's a difference? Well, I'm pretty particular. So show me. Wow. The better choice. The more beef, ground beef. The Kroger Garden. Cost cutter prices. The bakery. Ooh. The floral shop. The Kroger Deli. Wow. And Kroger people.
Feel the difference. Go Krogering.
St. Louis Cardinals versus the Huntsville All-Stars could have been the headlines on April 8, 1931. Huntsvillian Gabby Street, manager of the St. Louis Cardinals, brought his National League Championship team to Huntsville. They played a team of local All-Stars, coached by H.E. Hub Myhand, a former pitcher with the St. Louis organization at Asheville. A crowd of over 2,000 saw the All-Stars lose 14-4.
Seventh inning, and the Huntsville Stars have dropped behind by a couple of runs, and number 20 stands in. We have seen this young man before. He's had quite a night. His name is Stan Javier. Has an RBI, walked and scored, and grounded out from pitcher to first. Let's see what Stan Javier can do. Now there's a ball now behind the plate. The umpire goes back and picks it up. Left hands it out of there. Good catch by the bat boy. Now we're ready to play baseball.
You know, I really am surprised Bencomo has made it this far. He has been throwing quite a few pitches as of late.
All right, here it comes. Trying to drag one. Remember, now only a left-hander can drag a bunt.
Javier and Polonia are two of the better bunters on this team. You'll notice them when the other guys are just tossing it around. They are bunting. The ball boys pitching to them. They work on it a lot.
Mickey Mantle, oh, how he could do that when he batted left-handed. Put it there between the first baseman and the pitcher, and it's just, you know, literally there's nothing the defense can do. Mantle is laughing on first base. Of course, Javier has the great speed that allowed him to do that. He wasn't going to bunt that time, and he is called out. Great Scott. Okay, Harold, what do you got done?
What we got is for ladies only. Ladies, you've ever wondered who's the cutest star? I think we've got the answer. Starettes, who's the cutest star? I don't know what they said, but I'm not sure. I think it was Jack Eaton who was #1 in their eyes. Jack, what do you think about that?
No. Can't be. Here's Terry Steinbach. Had a double and batted in a run the last time up. And the Stars need some instant offense right now. They need somebody on base. They're down by 2 in the bottom of the 7th. All right. It is a warm night. Pitcher throws. I tell you, he didn't. That came zipping in, looked like the first inning. Somebody asked Bob Gibson if he got stronger as the game went along, and he looked at him and said, "Are you crazy? How can you throw 95 miles an hour for 9 innings and get stronger? That is the dumbest thing I ever heard." Turned and walked away. High fly ball, right center field, easy out.
You know, I think there's something to be said for getting stronger mentally, getting into the game. These guys, they take control. They think at this point, you're going to have to beat me. I'm not going to give you anything.
But Gibson said, "No way you're going to get stronger." He had a 1.12 ERA and 68, lowest ERA in the history of baseball. Boy, could he throw. I interviewed him up in Creighton one time in the early 60s before he was Bob Gibson. I think he was after his first year with the Cardinals. He was a most interesting guy. Boy, there's a shot to center field. I mean, that is flat money in the bank from Rob Nelson. So Rob Nelson keeps the Stars' hopes alive here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And standing in is Brian Dorsett, who had a double and a couple of groundouts. So he has had his share of success tonight, but dearly wants some right here. Brian Dorsett, D-O-R-S-E-T-T, batting at .286. Let's see, he's 1 for 3 tonight, so he's up that a little, not much. Not worried about batting average right now. Wants to get something fair between the white lines. It's not caught. Okay. First pitch is low and outside, and it's ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. Crowd hanging on here. This is a good crowd tonight. Seeing a good ball game. The Stars have come from behind and have tied it up, but now they're 2 runs down again. Inside. 2 balls, no strikes. All right. 2 balls, no strikes. Big pitch right here. The runner will not be going. Shot to left. And good catch out in left field. I mean, certainly not a sensational catch, but Beecham made it, and that's it. That's what happened to the rally. Nothing shaking in the bottom of the 7th. So at the end of 7 complete, it is 6-4 Knoxville.
Now's your chance to save a bundle during Bayless TV Warehouse's floor sample sale going on right now at all 4 great stores. Get this Kelvinator 18 cubic foot frost-free refrigerator freezer. It's got a free ice maker, just $588. Or this Kelvinator heavy-duty washer with permanent press cycle, just $299. Or how about this Roper 30-inch deluxe range, just $279. You must hurry. At these prices, it can't possibly last long. 90 days, same as cash. Visa and MasterCard will be accepted. Remember, you always pay less with Bayless.
Around here people seem to say it all without saying a word.
There are still places where you can shake a man's hand, buy him a Miller, and you've got yourself a deal.
Miller's made the American way, born and brewed in the USA, just as proud as the people who are drinking it today.
Miller Beer, purity you can see, quality you can taste.
Miller's made the American way.
Huntsville native Gabby Street, manager of the St. Louis Cardinals from 1929 to 1933, led them to the National League pennant and the World Series in 1930 and 1931. The Cardinals lost in 1930 to the Philadelphia Athletics, but came back in 1931 to win the series against Philadelphia.
A couple of Southern League finals are in. Boy, Jacksonville clobbered Columbus 10-zip. Another game not really very close. Charlotte and Chattanooga. Charlotte 9 and Chattanooga 2. And down in the stands, Harold?
Jack, we got a familiar face around town who's a free man tonight. Well, of sorts. Tony Mason, a well-known entertainer around town. He closed shop on Saturday night, and man, you must feel like you're at a place of sorts.
Well, I do feel a little bit out of place, Harold. This is the first time in 8 years that I've been out on Tuesday night and not singing at 10 o'clock.
Let's hope the Stars.
Yeah, let's hope the Stars pull it out. I'm really pulling for them.
Can sing a victory bar. Back up to you, Jack.
All right, we're now on the top of the 8th, and the visitors from Knoxville with number 13. Standing in, his name is Jeff Herron. And let's see, he's had a single in 3 trips tonight, has scored a run. Twice has fly to center field. And
it's pretty obvious for Larry Smith, better bear down at this point.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it looked like he telegraphed the change at that time. But the count is a ball and a strike on Jeff Herron, and the fastball comes in a little bit low and outside. The count goes to 2-1. Stars got a hold of 4 right here. You can't give these guys any more runs because their pitcher seems to be, and I hate to say it, getting stronger as he goes along. Uh-oh. There's a shot to left field as a fair foul, a foul ball. Foul by about 10 feet. So it wasn't even close. Out in front and pulled it down the left field strike. Jeff Herron batting .202, the designated hitter. A lot of controversy or not, but do you like the designated hitter? Don't you like the designated hitter? I, for one, don't like it. But that doesn't mean they're going to repeal it because I don't like it.
You know, talking to the Stars pitchers, they're about evenly divided. Some of them want to bat. Some of them are glad they don't have to worry about batting practice.
It was it the '75 World Series when Louis Tiant hadn't batted in about 5 years, and the first time up he gets a double down the left field line. There's a shot to right center field, and that's going to good catch. Wow. I mean to tell you, that was some kind of a catch by Stan Javier. This deserves a replay. And the center field camera. Boy, you'd see him keep his head down on that. Man, he really wailed that. And look at Javier.
You know, I don't think there's a coach in America or a manager either that would tell you that speed, there's no substitute for speed.
You can outrun your mistakes. Yes, sir. Good play by Javier. Okay, one up, one down, and Jim Bishop, who had a home run his last time up. Here's a guy, 191 hitter, but he got his arms extended. It was up right over the heart of the plate, and I'd say you do that. It's called being wild in the strike zone. That time he bounced it towards short, and this is going to be close at first. Boy,
good stretch.
Good stretch is right. Good play. 6-3, short to first. So 2 up and 2 down, and now Matt Stark, who grounded out from short to first, then has a couple of singles. Got around to third in the 4th inning. Has not scored, but has gotten good wood on the ball. And let's see if we can get this guy out of there, because coming up for the Stars in the bottom of the 8th inning be Dorsett, Toma, and Marquardt. And those guys are going to get us some runs. Pitch sails outside. Ball 1. One thing about baseball, you are never out of it. Always have a chance. They got to get those 27 outs. There's no clock. And Yogi Berra said it. He wasn't talking about a ball game, but it ain't over till it's over. Talking about the pennant race. You know, Yogi Berra said a lot of things over the years that really make sense. When you come up one time and as you bat, you're supposed to have the trademark up so you can see it. It keeps the bat from breaking the bat. Anyway, and somebody said, Yogi, you're supposed to be able to see the trademark when you hit it. So I didn't come up here to read, came up here to hit.
Guys like Yogi Berra make baseball fun.
One of the great stories. I'm sure a lot of old-time fans remember the name Honus Wagner. Well, won't remember Honus Wagner because he played back in the early 1900s, foul back. Honus was one of the all-time great shortstops that ever lived, and then was around the Pittsburgh area for many years before passing away at a very advanced age, well into his 80s, perhaps even his 90s, around the 40s, I guess. Anyway, but Honus was a great, great character. And he said one time he was playing out almost in a cow pasture, and of course in those days they didn't have diamonds like they have today. Shot to right field, and this one is going to be duck soup. Easy does it. Hey,
quick inning.
Now we got him going. So I'll tell you about Honus Wagner when we come back. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. It is 6-4, but Huntsville Stars coming up. Hang in.
Okay, Kroger. You say there's a difference? Then show me.
Yeah. The Kroger Deli. Wow. The floral shop. Kroger people. The better choice.
Feel the difference. Go Krogering.
Okay, I'll be there as fast as I can.
A last-minute business trip. If you go through the regular airlines, it could mean this. And this. And this.
Flight 303 will be delayed.
Or you could go through Huntsville Aviation and enjoy the freedom of flying when you want to, without waiting in long lines, without losing your luggage, and best of all, without the long, boring time spent in airports. Enjoy the freedom of Huntsville Aviation and fly through the air with the greatest of ease.
Jimmy Key, a Huntsville native, is a pitcher for the Toronto Bluejays, parent club of the Knoxville Bluejays. In the 1985 All-Star Game, Key was the youngest player on the American League team and came on briefly as a relief pitcher.
Hello, everyone. Apparently not everyone is at home tonight with you watching the ball game. Once again, we got the fans in the stands here with us. Lowell Lovin, how's it going so far?
Yeah, well, it's wicked to stay with a couple more runs, but so far we're doing well.
I think Jack Eaton and our gang is trying to get us that, even as we speak, back up in the stands to you, Jack.
You know, this is illegal. They could put us in jail for this. Did you know that? You cannot send personal messages out of there. Great Scott. Well, if they send us to jail, they send us to jail. Okay, now, okay, here we go. It is 6-4. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Number 19 at bat is Ray Toma. He has a let's see, ball 1. Yeah, he's got a single in 3 trips tonight. And the Stars need some base runners, but the count is now even at a ball and a strike.
Mr. Bencoma is still doing it.
He has got the Stars number so far.
9 hits scattered, but the guy has really remained in control. Not really shaky, maybe shaky, but not shaken.
Yeah, I like that. Shaky but not shaken. Yeah, boy, I sure would agree with that. I'm going to remember that and use it as one of my own lines there. Old saying, yeah, will be. That's right. Honus Wagner playing in a very primitive diamond, and he swore the story was true, that he was playing shortstop and hit a ground ball to him. There's a shot to left field. Is this going to get out of here? Did not get out. Boy, I thought that was.
You know, the tough thing about that, Jack, when they first put up the stadium, they had a small, well, a 4-foot-high fence.
Watch this.
That would have been a home run early in the season.
Oh, he got his arms extended, and he pumped that thing, but I guess it was the heavy air. That should have been a home run. That's
one of those one more weedy shots.
All right, here's Marquardt. I'm never going to tell my Honus Wagner story. He's playing probably just as well, too. He's playing shortstop. And a very primitive diamond. A hard ball, a hard shot is hit to shortstop. As Honus fields the ball, a rabbit jumps up, and the ball hits a rabbit and bounces away. Honus said, I picked up the rabbit and threw to first, and it was the first time in baseball history that a runner was thrown out by a hair. I don't think it's true, but Honus Wagner swore it was, so you know, who am I going to? In the bullpen.
Little action there.
Little action in the 32 for Knoxville. We got to look that up, don't we, Junior? 32 for Knoxville in the bullpen is Keith Gilliam. But meanwhile, down on the diamond, the count has gone to 2-1 on the hitter, Johnny Marquardt. Nobody on. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Stars trail 6-4. Got to get a base runner. 2 balls, 1 strike. Marquardt will really eye this pitch. Wants it to be a striker, not going to swing at it. And I tell you, boy, he really eyeballed that one. Now it is 3-1. The advantage goes to the hitter. In the American League tonight, we have some scores. Kansas City knocked off Boston 6-3. Toronto over Texas. The Blue Jays, there's no holding them. Shot into right field. Into the hole in right, and Marquardt makes the turn at first, but he will go no farther. Now.
1 out, a man on. The Stars in business.
The Stars have it going now, and that is number 12, Brian Gwynne. Here's Minnesota at Oakland, and the parent club of the Huntsville Stars losing in the 6th inning, 8-0. All right.
Milwaukee 3, Detroit 2, also in the 6th.
Boy, can you believe Detroit? They just have done nothing this year. Sparky Anderson said at the end of last year that, is this going to be a dynasty? Oh, there's a shot up the middle, and the runner will not go to third. Not down 6-4. So back-to-back singles. Gwynne gets one. After Marquardt hit a shot up the middle, and now the Stars have runners on first and second, only 1 out, and here it is again. This is going right with a pitch. Looked like a sinking fastball, and sends it up the middle. The manager comes out, and they're going to talk it over. And I would guess, I haven't guessed right tonight. I don't know what John McLaren's going to do. I guess they're going to leave him in. Down in the bullpen, he is not throwing.
That was a short conference if ever there was one. What's that the second time he's been out to just talk to him, talk it over a little bit. You know, you said something about Marquardt not going past second. At this point, no time to take chances, time to get base runners.
Oh, you got no chances, not here. So here comes Rocky Coyle. 1 out of 3. Boy, look at that stand. Okay, now he brings that left foot up there. He cocks that bat behind his right ear. He is ready to take care of business right now. Here comes the pitch. Outside.
You know, Rocky's a fairly short guy, and he takes a fairly wide stance. Tough to get a low pitch on Rocky Coyle.
He's a little guy, and he takes a wide stance. That's what he does. He is not a subscriber to the Charlie Lau theory of hitting. George Brett, I guess, popularized Charlie Lau's, the late Charlie Lau's theory about as well as anybody. Well, he always have his weight back, but Brett's stance isn't that far apart. A lot of guys do that now. I'm a big George Brett fan. The co-owner of the Kansas City Royals, Avron Fogelman, owns the Memphis Chicks, and in 1991 will acquire complete ownership of the Kansas City Royals. All right, a ball, a strike, 1 out, 2 men on. Tying runs are aboard for the Huntsville Stars. Here comes a big pitch. Shot to right. It's going to get in there. It is merry-go-round time on the bases. Here comes one man in. The throw to second is not in time. And it is now a 6-5 ball game.
This is the second time tonight that Rocky Coyle has come up in a situation where the Stars had to have some production, and he's done it.
He sure has done it. And Brian Gwynne is on third. Rocky Coyle is on second, and that's going to be all for the pitcher for the Knoxville Bluejays. Omar Bencomo is going to go to the showers. It is now 6-5, but a lot of activity yet to come. There are 2 men on. The tying run is at third. The go-ahead run on second, only 1 out. And coming up for the Stars will be Luis Polonia, who has tripled and walked in 4 trips. So he is officially 1 out of 3.
You know, we've talked tonight about how the Stars, some of these guys, hopefully all of them, will be major leaguers someday. Yeah, a lot of fans probably don't know that 2 Stars already are major leaguers. Catcher Charlie O'Brien, who was called up very, very early in the season, and pitcher Bill Mooneyham. Both of them are with Oakland now, and being used as a parent club tries to make that stretch run.
Channel 19 in Huntsville presenting professional baseball, Stars baseball, for the first time in history. Sometime 20 years from now, they might have a trivia question. Who televised the first professional baseball game in Huntsville? Say Channel 19. This is really something,
and the bonus will be Jack Eaton did the play-by-play.
Yeah, and Brian Cottingham Jr. did the directing, and I hate to belabor this thing, but it is extremely difficult to do, and these people are doing it very well.
We just had a shot of their pitcher, his motion.
Never like to look at their pitcher's motion. That's
don't want them to have good motion.
One of my superstitions.
You know, we're talking about the baseball park here. You know, there was a new baseball park built back in Huntsville back in 1930, Martin Park. There was a local pro team at the time. The park sat 2,500 people and cost $5,000 to build. We're talking about Joe Davis Stadium now with 10,260 seating, $5.6 million to build. That's progress, I suppose.
In my hometown, my best friend was a guy named Bob Hammerback. We called him Weasel. And he at one time seriously proposed tearing down the old ladies' home to build a baseball diamond.
Is that what you call a fan? A real fan?
I guess. I don't know if he didn't like old ladies or I don't know, but he.
Now they're pitching out against Luis to get Stan Javier.
Well, Stan Javier has singled and walked, struck out and grounded out from pitcher to first. So they're going to load the bases. Now this is just old baseball strategy. It's something that's done all the time. What it does, the first base is open, so in other words, no base runners are advanced, and it sets up a force at any base, sets up the double play. So it is established baseball tradition, or established baseball strategy, perhaps a better word. Now here comes Stan Javier, and here's another score going to pop up on your screen right now. There it is. Hey, Scott, the worst score I ever saw.
Let's talk about Stan Javier. 9 home runs on the season. Would he not love to have a grand slam for number 10?
Oh, boy. Wouldn't I love to see a grand slam? Wouldn't that be exciting? Wouldn't that be the way to cap this thing off? It is 6-5. Knoxville has the lead. Only 1 man away. The Stars have the bases loaded. Stan Javier. Here it comes. Swing at it, Stan.
Well, he didn't get those, 106 walks by.
Got that right. All right.
New pitcher, I can understand that. That time it didn't work.
All right. Javier can get the job done. And Elvis say, take care of business. Bang. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh, they're not going to get it. Hey. Boy, you talk about a smart play. If that thing stayed fair, they wouldn't have gotten anybody. Watch this again. Good play. If he touches that thing, you know, the ball's in play.
Watch that. I think he was blowing on it, Jack.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, there are diamonds that they will adjust the contour of the diamond to favor the ball club. Okay, Montreal, Chicago. The poor old Cubbies, my gosh, they've lost their whole pitching staff. Sutcliffe's out, Trout's out, a couple more. They had just been decimated by injury.
Yesterday they broke a 7-game losing streak.
The Mets over the Phillies 4-2, and the Mets with Dwight Gooden. And, boy, I like to watch it. But Gooden has a curveball. I think it has to be the greatest thing I've ever seen. He'll zip that 95-mile-an-hour fastball and then come back with that curve and control it. And the Pirates compete again.
You know, a quote on Gooden I read was somebody said if he had a really good changeup, nobody would ever hit it. He'd never lose a game.
If he had the change like Mario Soto's changeup, they wouldn't even touch the ball. All right, so let's see where we are now. The count is a ball and 2 strikes. The hitter is still Stan Javier. And the score is still 6-5. We've been fiddling around here for a long time. Come on, Stan. 6-5, 1 out. Bottom of the 8th inning. Everybody is ready. Infield is in. Here it comes. Foul back. 1 ball. 2 strikes.
Stan Javier, no easy out.
All right, the Pirates. I have been a Pirate fan all my life. This year they are the worst team in the history of baseball. The worst team in the history. It just pains me to see they're going to have to leave Pittsburgh.
Is there anybody more unhappy than an unhappy fan when the team's bad?
Oh, boy. Javier takes low and inside. Okay, here are the on third base is Brian Gwynne. And second base is Rocky Coyle. On first base is Luis Polonia. And the hitter is Stan Javier. Everybody is accounted for. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. This is the pitch of decision right here. Does not want to go to 3-2. This is going to be it. He went to 3-2 is what he did. Now with 1 out, of course, I doubt that the runners are off of the pitch. I just don't think so.
This would be Stan Javier's 107th walk of the season if it turns out that way.
107th walk of the season.
And he would tie the game.
He is not going to, well, what do I know what he's going to do? All right. Big play right here. Everybody is ready. Here it comes. Shot. There's a double play. 1, 2. You got to hand it to the Knoxville Bluejays. 6-3.
Wind goes out of the sails.
Wind sure do go out of the sails. Okay. They had a shot at it. They got a run, but they came up a run short at the end of 8. Knoxville leads 6-5.
I never let those years in the spotlight go to my head. There are no stars on Potato Farm. Everybody's the same. I lived a simple life here. A really good life.
There's still a place where people don't forget where they came from. A place where beer is beer, and the brand is Miller.
Miller's made the American way.
Miller Beer. Purity you can see, quality you can taste.
Miller's made the American way.
Here's your chance to save a bundle during Bayless TV Warehouse's floor sample sale going on right now at all 4 great stores. Get this RCA 25-inch color track monitor receiver with remote control, just $649, or this 19-inch color set with channel lock digital keyboard tuning, just $296. This RCA 14-day, 4-event front-load VCR, just $396. But you must hurry at these prices. It can't possibly last long. 90 days, same as cash. Visa and MasterCard are being accepted. Remember, you always pay less with Bayless.
Jack Lively was a pitcher for the 1911 Detroit Tigers. His son, Everett Bud Lively, a Huntsville resident, pitched for the Cincinnati Reds from 1947 through 1949.
And if you love the game tonight, you can thank in part the folks at Miller and one of their guys on hand tonight, Reggie the Dancing Man. Reggie, give us your little pictures, man.
Say, ice cold beer, get your ice cold beer, make you want to cheer, only $1.75.
Reggie's got it tonight. He's got his fans down here with him, too. Back up to you, my man.
He's got it as right, and also getting it for the... I love it. Brian Dorsett, good play, good play. Got the foul tip off the bat of, let's see, as he gets back to the scorecard, that would be, let's see, where were we? Jose Diaz, right? I think that's who that was. Yeah, if it's not, that's good enough for me.
Well, let's mention there has been a pitching change. Scott Whaley, who played his college ball right up the road apiece at Jacksonville State, he comes in for Larry Smith, the third Stars pitcher of the night.
And the batter is Bernie Tatis, T-A-T-I-S. Tatis. Hit everything and pronounced it right once, 1 out of 3 times. Looked like a sinking fastball right there. Good pitch, had a lot of movement on it. A little bit low, however, and it's 1 ball to Bernie Tatis. Boy, that sure is a Pete Rose stance right there. Pete Rose, what, needs 21 hits to break Ty Cobb's record. Of course, Pete has been at bat over 2,000 more times than Cobb was.
You know, that's one reason I'm so glad the strike did not take place.
Yeah. That 20 years ago, anybody the thought of breaking Ty Cobb's record would just, you know, is ridiculous, most ridiculous thing in the world. But just like, boy, he got that up and popped it up. Looked like my little hanging slider, hanging curveball, popped to short right field. And Tatis was out, so a couple of pop flies, one a foul ball. The other is popped to short right, and 2 up and 2 down. And if Whaley can get Chris Shaddy right here, it will set up the bottom of the 9th for the home team, needing a run to tie and 2 to win. So got to get this guy right here. Shaddy, he has been hit by a pitcher, hit by the pitch, grounds 1 to 3rd. There's a good play. There's a long throw, and they got it. Boy, good play. I mean, a super play by Ray Toma. Okay, it sets up the thrilling bottom of the 9th for a time by run. Be back after this. We'll watch it going out.
Go Krogering for USDA choice grain-fed beef. Guaranteed fresh, tender, and full of hearty flavor. Or your money back. Even better, boneless. Costs no more per serving than bone-in. Kroger USDA choice grain-fed beef. The better choice.
This week, get USDA choice grain-fed whole boneless sirloin tip, just 99 cents a pound.
Feel the difference. Go Krogering.
Over 100 years ago, Frederick Miller started an American tradition. He put his beer in clear bottles to show its purity, its quality.
Miller's made the American way.
Nothing's really changed since Frederick Miller's day. Miller still means purity you can see, quality you can taste. It contains no additives, no preservatives, and still comes in the same clear bottle for the same clear reasons.
Miller's made the American way.
If you're wondering who's responsible for tonight's big ball game, Eddie Killer standing by here, the general manager at Channel 19, Mr. Ray Gill. So far,
Harold, I just want to tell everybody connected with this telecast what a great job they've done. The people in the truck, everybody.
Well, based on that, I guess we'll be back tomorrow with you and hopefully more Stars baseball. Let's go get them, Jack.
Oh, wow. 1 up and 1 down. Now the Stars are down to their final 2 outs. That was... Oh, boy. Is that a pinch hitter? Wait a minute. No, that was Terry Steinbach. Okay, here we go.
Okay, Rob Nelson is up. The man with the power.
Okay, here we got him. Yeah, all right. Here's the power hitter.
If Rob Nelson's going to hit a home run, this would be a great time for it.
This will be a great time for it. All right. Rob Nelson, a .238 hitter, but he's got a ton of home runs. He is
29 on the season, sir.
29. He hangs in there pretty good against those left-handed pitchers, too, doesn't he? Not a time, sometimes just automatically a front foot will come out there, but he hangs in there.
Well, if I'm correct, he had a sharply hit ball his last time up, not out of the infield, but not far out of the infield, but it was hit well.
He's had a couple of hits tonight. Yeah, one of sort of, you know, okay, here it comes. All right. Hope springs eternal for the home team. With 1 out of the bottom of the 9th, Nelson draws a base on ball. So the tying run is at first, and here comes a runner. Very few home run hitters are base stealers or very fast. So number 14, Brian Graham, comes in to run for Nelson.
The catcher is Brian Graham. Not the catcher, the base runner is Brian Graham. A couple of strained ligaments in his hand. The cast is due to come off. It may be off. In fact, that may be a wrap. It was due to come off to see how he was doing. Probably out for the remainder of the season. That was the word a few weeks ago.
Brian Dorsett with a runner on first, a tying run. One man away in the bottom of the ninth. Kicks, throws. Boy, looks good pitch. Yeah, strike call. Looks like a slider. Some kind of a curl on the end of it. 6-5. Knoxville leading. Huntsville at bat. Here it comes again. Low and inside. Count even. A ball and a strike. Stay tuned. The news will be on after the ball game. Throw to first. Lazy throw.
And win or lose, I will have Stars heroes or someone on my sports show live here from the stadium.
Well, that sounds like a good idea. All right. Here it comes. Good pitch. Swung right through it. It is now 1-2. So Dorsett stands back in. He's dug in. I tell you, he's ready. He's got that shillelagh in his hand. He means business. Here it comes. Big pitch right here towards second base. This could be the ball game. The second for one. The throw to first is in time. The baseball game is over, and the Blue Jays have defeated the Huntsville Stars. Final score 6-5. Back after this. Okay, tonight's Huntsville Stars game has been brought to you by Bayless TV Warehouse, North Alabama's exclusive warehouse, direct TV, and appliance store. And by Miller High Life. Miller made the American way. And by the Kroger Company, where you'll never strike out with Kroger's cost cutter prices. Feel the difference. Go Krogering. Good night, everybody. Our special thanks to the Huntsville Hilton for the services provided for this telecast. Make your next night out something special and join us at Lofton's for gourmet American cuisine. Afterwards, enjoy Bow Ties, Huntsville's most exciting nightclub in the Hilton.
Tickets are available for that game at the Stars ticket office on 2nd.